Rutger Hauer Theater back with you for another beautiful week of this beautiful month. It's Rutger Hauer month, Murray.
We are trending all over the world, Griff.
All over the world.
Rutger Hauer month is it's the Rutger Hauer fever.
Everybody knows I'm obsessed with Tom Hardy, but the rest of the world rightly is obsessed with Rutger Hauer, and we're just feeding them exactly what they need. We're like all those right side broadcasting agencies that are out there now. Yeah. We're just feeding the world what they need.
I'm glad you brought that up because I got a call from President of the United States of America.
Oh yeah, we don't even have a red phone. You just have the green phone.
Right.
You like something a little more tame.
I mean, he's not my president, but he claims to be the president. It's the jury's still out. We're still Cyber Ninja's still working on it.
I was listening. Is it though? Is the jury still out?
Yes. We got to count the votes 5 more times
at least.
So he called me and he tells me, he's like, Tim. We're on first name basis. That's how it goes. You guys can only call me by my last name, but we're on a first name basis.
What's Joe's nickname?
I don't know. Sleepy Joe. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually his nickname?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's like, look, Jack. I got a request. I have to ask you. The Taliban has said that they will let anybody who wants out safely. The one condition is they get the Rutger Hauer episodes a day early.
Whoa.
I immediately said, no. We don't negotiate with terrorists. It's not going to happen. Sorry. This is for the golan-globus here for everybody, and then get it on Wednesday. And then he told me, I will give you full immunity for anybody you put in the acid pit. And I said, deal.
Oh, Jesus. So what you have done is sign me up for more work.
What work are you doing?
I have to release the episode a day early now.
Yeah, but we don't go to jail if we. I can't believe that. I can't believe it's a crime. First of all,
we've already talked about our dreams post podcast. Yours is the fight ring. Mine is chasing down Tom Hardy. I'm not involved with your acid pit. I don't care. Why don't I get like diplomatic immunity to go?
What are you talking about? I was just this morning. I was just stirring the pit. I was getting so excited. I was just staring into it.
Let's get out of our dream world.
Imagining bodies burning.
Guys, I've got the solution for you. What you do is you release the episode at 3:00 in the morning UK time, and then that is the day before in the US. So you release at the same time, but you cure your day early problem. You are welcome. No need to thank me. That's what I'm here for.
I think you're onto something there because I'm pretty sure the time would work out where it still releases like normal.
Yep.
I don't know.
We can get around it. I don't care. I just want immunity from murdering. Apparently, it's murder. I don't think it's murder. I think it's kind of like, dude.
I think your president, Mr. Donald Trump.
I didn't say he was my president either. I just said Joe Biden.
When was your last president?
George Washington.
Jed Bartlett.
That's going a long way back.
By the way, so this is Rutger Hauer month. We're having guests. If you haven't already heard him, he already talked.
Yeah, it's been weeks now. We've been pushing this guests on every show. But our conversation obviously is too tantalizing. Even people across the pond got to get in on it.
Right. He's back once again. I think he's our returning champion. I don't think anyone's been on as many times.
Oh, at least for remotely.
What do you mean? I've got to get on it. Get in on it. I listened to your last episode, and I distinctly heard you invite me on. So that's the only reason I'm here. Listen to your split-second episode. You mentioned, next week we're having the sexy Scott voice. Thank you for that, by the way. And I'm like, guess I'm on a podcast.
By the way, I reject that. I still say I have the sexiest voice, but that's an argument for another episode.
You're not from Scotland, so shut up.
It's true. Are you really? I want to believe that you. I want to believe that you're really from like that island, that Wicker Man Island. Tell me you're from the Wicker Man Island. Because wasn't that supposed to be off the coast of Scotland?
That's like way, way north. That's like saying I'm not from New Mexico. I'm from Canada. Well, maybe not quite that distance, but it's a fair distance. So no, I'm 26 miles north of Edinburgh, which is a very famous filming location in Fast and Furious 9. They used Edinburgh, so
Oh shit. I was listening to a podcast with, I think she's an English woman, and she was just making fun of Americans because we pronounce Edinburgh. Yep. That's how I always read it, so I thought it was funny that came up.
Tomato. Does it make you happy to pronounce it the way that you do? Then as long as you're happy pronouncing it, you can pronounce it London for all I care. It's fine. I know what you mean.
Well, what I really enjoy is that down the street from me, at least, Murray's probably had this experience as well. We have a street named Lasser, Lahser, but there's a huge community of the area who have to pronounce it Lasher, and it's
Do they?
Yes, I just heard it the other day. Back when I was doing the Circuit City stuff, I met a lot of people who would say, "Yeah, I'm just over here on Lasher." So,
the only word. The only word that I hear Americans pronounce that kind of annoys me slightly is the actor who's currently playing James Bond. Who is that?
Is it Elba?
Daniel Craig?
Yeah, that's close. People seem to pronounce it Daniel Craig for some reason. It's like, no, it's Craig. That's his name, Daniel Craig. So you did all right.
I've never heard that.
I hear it in a lot of podcasts.
Did we talk Bond with you last time? Because I was talking Bond recently because someone pointed out that Daniel Craig is the worst Bond because he just seems like a complete psychopathic killer.
We're Bond for our era, our time.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Whereas we're used to a charming Bond who's fucking all the time.
Well, like Timothy Dalton, who wasn't, and he did kill people. I'm actually partway through an entire rewatch of all the Bond movies in order, and the next one I've got to do is GoldenEye, so that's how many I've watched. And it is weird watching them in order because Roger Moore was always my Bond. He was the best Bond. He was amazing. But now I've gone back to the beginning. It's like I kind of like Sean Connery better, and I like Timothy Dalton better, and Roger Moore's kind of funny, but he doesn't really look like much of a threat. So my whole sort of Bond thing's changing up slightly. But I'm enjoying it. I think I've watched like 17 Bonds or something so far.
Caught when you posted that you were watching License to Kill, and when I was 12, and I was like, I really like James Bond without having seen a movie. I think I played the GoldenEye game.
You're kind of like me because I prefer the idea of James Bond more than the
100%.
You know,
so I got License to Kill on VHS, and I watched it, and I was like, "This is long." That was my takeaway.
Not that long. It's like 2 hours. It's shorter than one of your podcast episodes.
Oh yeah, but I kind of harp on that all the time. We stretch an hour and a half movie to 3 hours constantly, which we're gonna do today.
Yes, we are.
Shit, we probably already done that today. Yeah, we're well on our way to that marker.
We have any opinions of this movie before we get into it? I want to say I feel betrayed because I've never seen this. Okay,
Really?
we're doing. Yes, I've never even heard of it. I don't know anything about the '90s Rutger Hauer at all. I'm an '80s Rutger.
Oh, '90s was mostly good.
So, only reason we're doing this movie is to shout out to one of our listeners at SFF Audio. This is for you, buddy. Rutger Hauer's a total putz in this fucking movie. I hate him.
We need contrast, though. I really appreciate it.
This whole month's about celebrating Rutger Hauer, and I wanted to murder him in this fucking movie.
I liked seeing him in a different role. Not so sure about the movie.
Different role. Yep.
Is it just me, or did he change his voice to a nerd voice?
Yes.
Okay.
He had to.
Because I was really perturbed by this performance.
I saw his hair touching his ears.
Prince Valiant hair. I hated
Prince
that.
Valiant hair touching his ears. And I was like, Murray's going to hate this.
Yes, I did. It really irritated me. His hair really did bother me. Good call. You know me.
You're well.
And his fucking Garth Brooks collection outfits throughout this movie.
Okay.
Or was it On Deadly Ground? There was a On Deadly Ground vibe, too, to what he was.
How he got a woman to sleep with him in this movie, let alone two, I do not know with that hair.
Okay. You see, I had
a woman begging to sleep with him.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. You know, we were here talking about Bonds and old. You know, this works into that because you got this really old dude and then these young women. But Mimi Rogers was, I know Ivory, well, Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy.
She's got this, like, third grade school teacher look going on to her. Not working at all. I was right there with Rutger, like, get away from me. Like, she's kind of creepy looking in this.
Well, she was married to Tom Cruise, so that'll do it.
She was indeed, yep.
Ooh, oh.
She was Cruise's first beard. I think she's a Scientologist. Though.
She?
Tom, I am not getting involved in this, Tom. Stay following me on Twitter, my friend.
Oh, wow. Humble brag there. Tom Cruise follows me.
Tom Cruise, great action
But does
star.
Tom Hardy's dick follow you? Follows Griff.
All the way to my dream.
Yeah, it does indeed. So if I start choking halfway through the episode, it's Tom Hardy's fault. Tom, sit down. I'm doing a podcast. Put your Peaky Blinder away.
Man. Okay. Yeah, Mimi Rogers. We did the hair thing. What did I got? Joan Chen.
I think we've done more Joan Chen movies than Stallone movies. I didn't know she was in so many action movies.
I can't believe it, but I kind of love her as a villain.
She was a little too over the top for me in this one. But then again, this movie is ridiculous. Yeah. So I guess.
At the end there, when she's all, tee-hee, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
What did I ever love about you in the first place? My ass. See, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I started off with one opinion of this film, and then by the end of it, I had a totally different opinion.
I'm interested.
Yeah, because I started off the film thinking, I'm going to block these guys. How dare they do this to me? And by the end of it, I'm like, I had such fun. So,
I call bullshit. I asked Stuart long ago. I said, listen, give me some Rutger movies. And this was on it. Don't even give me any bullshit about me making you.
I'm pretty sure that Split Second was my choice. And then I got dumped.
Split Second was on it. But we had to give it to our lycanthropist because he's our monster expert.
This is true.
Yes.
Sorry. Had to do it. We had the monster. He sent us over a photo where the monster actually had laser vision too in some of the some of the early concepts of it.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I think we have it right here. Stuart won't be able to see it, but
nobody will except us.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, little eyes. I didn't notice how his visor really.
I didn't realize how much he looks like Judge Death from Judge Dredd.
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying.
Venom meets Judge Death.
He's got great abs, though.
That's a great movie, by the way. Go watch that instead of Wedlock. But if you want to see Wedlock, it is on YouTube.
I did enjoy your Split Second episode, so well done, guys.
Thank you.
Well, I hope people enjoy yours, because you're going to get... I'm stirring acid right now.
Why are we recording so close to an acid pit?
Because I just got to look at it, dude. It's like staring into the abyss. I'm staring into the acid
pit. You did
pit.
have a rough day driving over. Anytime Stuart is on, Murray is likely to be 45 minutes late.
He just doesn't care when I'm here, does he? That's what the problem is. He's like, who's the guest host? Oh, fucking... Nah.
Fuck.
Weird talking guy.
Reading it.
He probably says croissant.
Damn his sexy voice back over the other side of the Atlantic.
That's it. I've had a grudge against you ever since then. I was like, all I have is my voice. And this fucker steals that from me? Fuck him. All right, guys, let's get into this fucking movie. Let's get to the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Griff. Here it is. Movie here's my dad joke for the day. The movie that puts a whole new meaning to the phrase "till death do us part." It's Rutger Hauer in Deadlock, aka Wedlock.
In the prison of the future, criminal justice will have a deadly twist.
Demonstration. Each one of these collars is electronically linked to another prisoner's collar. If they're ever separated by more than 100 yards,
no bars, no walls, no chance of escape.
boom, no joke. Hi, Frank. You remember where those diamonds are yet?
I panicked after the job. Dropped the diamonds off at my friend's place. Figured I could pick them up later. Then I got shot.
Playing with the dummies, you gotta think like one.
I know who your Wedlock partner is.
Bullshit, how would you know? You're my Wedlock partner. Oh, no.
From the director of Jewel of the Nile, Rutger Hauer.
Don't shoot, we're coming out.
Mimi Rogers.
You son of a bitch.
And Joan Chen.
Sorry, honey. I did it for the money.
Get ready to fly.
Deadlock. It'll blow your mind.
All right, everybody. Last week we were in the future, 2008. Now
into the future.
Now we don't know.
Well, we're sometime.
It's sometime in the future, and it lets us know. And we're closing in on this nice, busy city street. We don't know where it's
That's
at.
why your movie becomes timeless when you just say sometime.
And also, you can't tell where you're at because you have signs in foreign languages and everything, English. There's bazaars happening, so I couldn't place where we're at.
You can tell when. It's set, obviously set in a specific week in 1991 because Mark for Death's on at the cinema, and there's no way that was in the cinema for longer than a week. So, have a look, see when it came out. That's when this film was set.
That was a huge hit for Seagal.
For a week.
He had a huge gut for Seagal, or was that before Steven started eating pies and dyed his head?
Oh, he was. I think he was getting into the blouses, but the billowy shirts.
He didn't carry as much weight in the face yet, but he was hiding a lot.
It was.
He wasn't flowing as much as usual because he had the string bean body.
And I think that was the first Nang Chen movie. I think
that might be.
Yeah, that nice flowing ponytail.
The flowing ponytail.
But anyway, that's another. By the way, we've done that episode, so go listen to that. Now, sometime in the future, we're at a jewelry expo. I don't know what fuck was going on.
It looked like that, and I love that there's like the neon outside. It's called the Jewelry Mart, according to the sign. But then it sounded like they called it something different.
Non-stop striptease right underneath.
Non-stop. So you don't know when it stops.
And the perfect disguise for a jewelry heist are priests. So everybody, Rutger, Joan Chen, and Ajax from the Warriors, dress as priests. So they don't stand out at all. They're blending into the crowd.
No. And so, like you said, it's just like a flea market of jewelry, like high-priced jewelry. You got people just trying to hawk off like Hot Wheels with a little emerald in them and stuff. And various precious jewels, I should say. I saw the Crown's jewels, by the way. That was
the Crown's.
Wait, Queen's jewels?
Are you talking about Tom Hardy again? Are we back to this hotel room thing?
Yes.
Shit. Yeah, I did slip back into that. Okay. Anyways, so Joan she's got the sticky fingers of the group. Yeah. You got Rutger, who's obviously just exuding the leadership charisma.
He's no charisma at all.
All the charisma in the world.
He's training the charisma, if that's possible.
Has gone from him for this movie. He left all the charisma in his previous movie.
Did this movie come out after a split second? Because he's got some Dick Durkin vibes coming off him big time.
I think it definitely did, yeah. I think it did.
Oh, god damn it. No, it's 2-on-1.
He's got glasses. He's got that Prince Valiant haircut.
What was going on with his glasses, too? Because it seemed like they're yeah, I guess they were.
This came out before Split Second. Split Second was 1992.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. So he's not really had a good Dick Durkin yet. A year after when he gets something.
Oh, maybe Dick Durkin was inspired by this character. It could be.
So they got all the jewelry heist things you need, the electroshock gun.
Yeah.
Because they go to the bathroom.
Yep.
And they do like a Batman quick change, and now they're janitors.
Didn't they beat up 3 guards who were various sizes, then suddenly they fit perfectly into their maintenance outfits?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, I thought we did the classic,
no, they just jumped in the bathroom.
We need to mention that Joan and her sticky fingers stole a necklace, and she can't hide it. She's got to put it on right away.
Right. She's like the loose cannon of the group. She likes danger. She likes bad boys.
Oh, yeah, like Frank.
Frank, yeah.
Yeah.
Magenta. And so, it's just nonstop disguise changes because then they're janitors and then they go to the area where they keep the jewels overnight, the safe deposit box, the vault.
The vault, yep.
And we got the guards.
Maintenance crew's not supposed to be here today.
Other floor.
They knock over their, muck bucket and spilling everywhere. Oh, sorry. And the guys close in to shoo them away. But for their troubles, these guards, they get zapped.
Yeah, by futuristic, sometime in the future guns.
I couldn't tell. It was very dark.
It just shoot electricity.
This equipment is very interesting, very futuristic. We got the lasers.
Yeah. Well, not lasers, they're just electricity. It's like a lightning bolt.
I don't know how to explain these guns because it's shooting
electricity.
It's
like a stun gun.
And then my favorite is Joan busts out. They have to disarm Or it was disarm the alarm.
Yeah.
And she has like this long metal contraption with like the grip on it.
Futuristic, like grabber thing your grandma has because she can't bend over. Kind of
the sock thing.
Yeah. And she opens the door to the vault, to the room for the vault. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so.
We got classic bank heist shit going on. We got Sam drilling through the vault because that's how you open a vault. You just drill a hole in it, and then you can swing it open. And Rutger is fast to work. He's got a big hole cut in the wall, and he's like just playing with wires. He's just touching them.
Screwdriver.
He's just trying to find the proper place to put the screwdriver in. And then we learned that he and Noelle, Joan Chen, they have a little bit of a relationship going on. And so she's like hanging all over him, licking his ear, just like getting all about him.
Yeah, it's
very.
He's like, "I'm working here."
I'm working
because you want to
here.
point out he puts on a nerd voice. Like, "I'm working here." And then Sam, he gets through with the drill. He can't wait, licking his lips. He's got to get the. He's like, "Hold on, let me disarm the fucking alarm first."
Yeah, that's what Frank's trying to yell at him. But again, you guys pointed out he's not exuding any authority over this group.
Training the charisma and the joy out of this movie slowly. And so Sam just opens. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." Opens the door, and he's like literally 5 seconds away from disarming it. And he's like, "No, I gotta open it."
I don't know. I
no
feel
impulse control.
This is just what happens in bank heists, you know. You get too excited. The anxiety gets to you.
But it turns out it's not so bad because it takes the cops like 5 hours to make it to the vault. So they're just slowly because they got the fucking Anton Sugar or whatever like cattle prod thing, and they're knocking.
Yeah, the cattle prod gun. Yeah,
they're knocking open the safety deposit boxes.
Well, we got to remember this is somewhere in the future. We probably have canceled the police. They don't want to show up. Didn't you hear about that protest or that riot in Portland that the police didn't show up for? And it's all because we canceled them.
We gotta get our Portland fan on here because what the fuck is going on in Portland? There's like nonstop riots. The city's burning constantly. Anyway, so they get the diamonds and they're all geeked about it, and then they go, "Quick, we need another quick change," because they're cosplayers.
Yeah,
and they change into cop.
Why did they have to change Joan Chen into hers though? Like they double unzipped her. What the fuck was that about?
I don't know.
Well, I couldn't explain why they may wanted to have double unzipped Joan Chen, but you know, I'll send you a Google page for that one later.
Oh boy.
So they're cops now. They go to their getaway car. The cops finally show up.
Yeah.
But they're giving themselves away because Sam refuses to wear a cap.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
Like, this is my hair up.
This is my hair
I got
up.
rock star hair. Unlike you,
and
Prince Valiant.
And then got the perfect policeman hair. No one would recognize him as one of their own with that fucking haircut.
It looked like he cut his own hair in front of you without a mirror.
Oh my god!
Oh, Rutger, I'm sorry. I just want to say sorry to the spirit of Rutger Hauer.
Oh my god, he's looking like
It bummed me out.
I turned on the TV today, and Messenger of Death was on, a Bronson movie.
Yeah,
and he's looking 100.
Yep. I did. Great film.
I only got a few minutes into it, long enough for the murder to happen in the first scene, and then to see Bronson at a dinner with like a woman in her 40s trying to look like a go-go woman, like a hip 80s woman. So that wasn't working out. But then you have 65-year-old Bronson sitting there with his sweater and his like collar popped over, like, yes, that is nice. The whole milk is on the way. Excuse me, skim milk. 1%? I can't remember.
Where is this story going?
Where am I going? Anyways, Noelle also refusing to get fit like into the cop, completely sell out the cop uniform. She's still wearing her necklace.
Well, she forgot. She's, like you said, she's just impulsive.
Yeah, and all the excitement of trying to escape and everything.
So one of the cops notices.
Yeah, they're all hanging out outside, and they're like, how many people were involved with it? And they look at each other, and they're holding up two, like right in front of all the cops. Let's get our story straight here. Cops are here. So they're like, yeah, there's two. And Joan Chen goes with the cops. And I didn't understand. Was it just to really sell that they were cops? Yeah. Okay. But she only gets like 5 steps in the building before it had to be a lady officer. Because no man would notice.
Right. She notices, like, I like the bling. She's like, we can only wear gold chains in our precinct.
Yeah, and then they make up a fake city. Yeah, is that how the police people over in Winchester Wire do it?
It was, where was it? It was Manchester.
Yeah, well, that's where I near enough am. Yeah. No, police over here.
So you would know.
Harsh language. There's no weapons over here. We don't.
This is like, nice try, bitch. There is no Manchester priest.
Yes.
So I didn't. This is very much the Star Wars bar scene. I don't know who shot first. People just start getting shot here, don't they?
I think Noelle, Joan Chen, shot her in the heart.
Oh. Noelle is very quick to murder.
Yeah, she's a femme fatale.
Impulsive.
See, I like her as a villain. She's just, fuck it, I don't care. I'm opening fire. She's crazy.
Would you do a bank robbery with her? I think not.
Oh no, God no! That was a terrible choice. I don't know how.
It depends how good the sex is. If you're like, wow, the sex is really good, I'll put up.
Is that what happened to Rutger? How did Rutger get with this woman in the first place?
She put him in the fog, bro. It's a fog.
Like, did she look him up? Was like, he's the greatest technologist?
Yes, and exactly what happened.
So she just came knock him one day, like, I brought your pizza. I didn't order a pizza. Well, do you want to bang anyway?
And he's like, that's a stunning diamond necklace for a pizza delivery woman. And she's like, let's just fuck. And then he's like, okay. And then, he got stuck in the fog. He's tangled in her web.
They met on Salute of the Jugger, and she thought, do you know what? I'm gonna groom him, sort his hair out, because geez, that's a mess, and the Jugger in it. And then we're gonna rob banks together. So this is not their first outing, is it?
Joan Chen, the groomist. You know what? I'm looking at Joan Chen in a whole new light now.
So Frank, Rutger's character, jumps in a police cruiser. Takes off. He takes the heat off the other two. He's like, I'll draw them away.
Yeah.
And he drives away, and then there's this one cop who I thought was going to be like later on because he looked like he had a grudge against these people. He's like, oh, goddamn people. He set up a roadblock. And you're seeing drive right by the marquee. It says Mark for Death. We're like, apparently this is a revival house. This is like the Redford Theater of...
the future.
Maybe they were in Redford. We don't know.
And
they're playing the classic movie Mark for Death.
Yeah.
And you see the car coming toward the roadblock, and we're like, oh, shit. Like, they're opening fire. And we're like, is Frank going to die?
Right. But the strange thing about the car is it just keeps bumping into the wall. Like, what's going on? What's Frank doing? What kind of distraction is this? What mind games is he playing? We also don't know what kind of futuristic shit. Do they have time machines in these cars? Can he just blink out into the future? I don't know.
We didn't have enough space to get 88 miles per hour.
We are somewhere in the future. We don't know what technology has in stow for us.
Clearly not.
But I'm going to let you... There's definitely not hairbrushes. Those are all gone.
He probably used a wire brush for hair in this movie, too. Like,
oh, my God.
Second.
Oh, that would have been a fun.
It looked like his hair looked like a pigeon nest. Maybe this, the Police movie came out after Split Second. Maybe the lessons he learned from this movie he took to Split Second.
Well, yeah, I think there was a article written about him and his style, his new approach to acting and his hair, and he was just like, never again. Shaved it, and that's why he was so Rutger and
he was so
Split
great
Second.
In Split Second.
Yeah.
So the car crashes right into the roadblock. This guy's insane. Nobody in the car. He rigged it. So he gets away. Next shot we see he's like Ninja Turtle did. He went into the sewers. Yes. Comes out with a pizza and the jewels. He's got the diamond.
Yeah.
And so I guess they're supposed to meet up like the next day.
Next day, next night. I have no idea time.
Sometime in the future.
Sometime in the future.
They meet up, and it's a double cross. Oh, I was like, I'm tired of your dick. I'm with Sam now.
Well, yeah, Sam comes out first, and he's got the gun pull. He pulls the gun on Frank, and Frank's like, "Oh, come on, what is this?" He's like, "No, I'll talk some sense into him." And she's like, "I would, Frank, but And then she gets real close and starts doing like the fucking the barbarian cover where she grasps at Sam's leg. She's like, "But I like this man now. I don't like you and your."
Well, he was one of the warriors, for fuck's sake. Of course,
There we go. So she is also turned sides, but Sam is unwilling to shoot Frank because he realized Frank's ability. I think he's thinking I can manipulate him in the future. Owen, on the other hand, is like, nah, I really like murder. So she shoots him 3 times.
I
Not
think
in the shoulder, Tim.
Sam was looking at Rutger going, "What is with your hair?" And that just delayed him enough. That's what it was.
It is.
What have you done to that hair? What is the what's makeup? Can we get some makeup, please? And and John thought, you know what? Time's money. I'm going to shoot him.
Looks like he's wearing a George Washington wig, and you're like, "Come on, Rutger. What happened to that beautiful blonde mane? Come on."
I thought I was watching a Thundercats movie when I first put this on. I'm like, well, this is like a live action.
Or He-Man, I don't know.
Yeah, either.
Yeah.
So, he gets shot 3 times, passes out, wakes up. He's on a prison bus, blindfolded.
Yeah, the blindfold. Everybody take your blindfolds off. Apparently, this is so experimental, you can't even see where you're going.
Right.
So they had to blindfold them to get there. And we're arriving at Camp Holiday, new for-profit correctional facility. This is some Bezos shit happening right here.
And then we finally get to see a bright spot in this movie. We see this beautiful craggy face.
We got a lineup of all of our prisoners. There's maybe 20 of them.
Yeah.
And then when we get inside, there's about 200 of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how many are there? But anyways, these are the new recruits, and we got them all lined up. We're about to learn a lot.
We notice there's women, too. We're like, what's going on with this?
Oh, yeah, mixed.
Co-ed prison?
Yeah, it's co-ed prison. Yeah, we got the line up, and we're going down the line, and just like you said, go ahead, keep building this up.
Oh, we just see this little wispy Bronson-esque mustache, this craggy face. It's Danny Trejo, people. Nice little guest spot by, because anytime there's a movie that takes place in prison back then, you had to have a Danny Trejo cameo.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And he does a great job. He looks just like a prisoner.
Right. And he immediately is like, I don't see any fucking fences here. Like, he's selling this to the audience so well. That wasn't in the script. Danny was like, you need to explain to your audience exactly what's going on, that this is just an open prison. This is in prison. See, this is how they sold it to the fucking liberals, is they said, we're going to do this new thing. It's going to be an open. We're going to use technology to keep people. We're going to give them nice, high-tech jobs. We're going to have them working in agile scrums. It's going to be great for their, they're going to leave here and they're going to get fucking 6-figure jobs down in Silicon Valley. They were working on computer chips. So, I mean.
I don't know. I thought they were just bringing the Spark Factory back to America.
It seemed like that, too.
Sparks flying.
I love that half the hallways were just pipes and everything.
It's always pipes.
Pipe.
So now we see our real villain of the movie, Warden Holiday, who's this nerdy dude.
Loves a trucker cap with his logo on it.
Yeah, branding. Trump,
it's good branding. That's a good point. 45s on it. Make prison great again.
So he breaks down what's going on at this prison. This is a whole new way of thinking about rating people.
Oh, yeah. And he heard Danny stepping up and saying, I'm breaking out of this joint in 2 minutes flat. You got no fence, no barbed wire, no guard towers.
Like, well, we don't need guard.
We don't know where we're at, so of course that quote is just everywhere.
Welcome to the prison of the future, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome to Wedlock. Pulls out this chunky-looking collar thing.
Yeah. How you feeling about the logic of our prison here, Stuart?
I'm still trying to get over the fact it was Ned Ryerson that was in charge of a prison, but
Are you saying
that was kind of weird?
They both like the supposed authority type figures. The protagonist and antagonist are just zeros in this movie.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking. I think Warden Holiday's got a VHS of The Running Man at home somewhere, going, "Ooh, I wonder if this will work."
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I wanted to see him get his face pummeled. I like that. He was a total geek. I could see him out of place in a bar and over the top. and get pissed on, and then have a dog in the bathroom bark at him. But I also loved how he classed himself up later on, where he had like the tall champagne glass that he'd pour mineral water into with a nice wedge of lemon. Like this guy, he's selling it to me. The orchids, nice little nod to
pile
Swamp
of like
Thing.
kumquats. I don't know what's that about.
Yeah, the set dressing worked out great. I think he did that himself.
It lays out what Camp Holiday is all about. You got your Wedlock explosive cup.
Yes.
You put on your partner with another person who you don't know who
Man,
is.
woman,
Whatever.
any of the genders in between. It could be anybody.
And
this was like 1991. There was just 2 genders back then.
Right.
He's correct.
Yeah.
If you go more than 100 yards apart, boom! It explodes. And he gives a demonstration. Got some mannequins up there.
Yeah, and they have one just sitting in like a little blast zone, and then they have the other one, and they drive it off, and sure enough, they both explode.
I want to point out, this movie is very liberal with what 100 yards is, because there's many times these people are way more than 100 yards apart from each other throughout the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to go with the premise.
You really do.
Maybe they're going metric. I don't know. It's a football field.
I was just going to say, 100 yards is a football field.
Yeah.
So there's your context, at least for us Americans.
Yeah, us English should be like, how big's a football field? Is that a soccer field? I'm very confused. Please explain the rules better.
Yeah, I wish I could compare it to a football field, because I don't know what the regulation football field size is.
How many croissants is this? Is it 1,000 croissants? Is it 1,500 croissants? I don't understand.
I can't understand your accent. What's happening? Are you asking for a croissant?
I bet if Tom Hardy was saying it, you'd understand it, wouldn't you? Yeah, you would.
If I met Tom Hardy, I would not hear a word he's saying, because I'd be just like I'd be star shocked. What is? Yeah,
you'd
star
be
fog.
in a Hardy fog.
I'd be in a Hardy fog.
Yeah, you'd be having a Hardygasm.
I would have a Hardygasm.
You'd have a Hardy on.
Have a Hardy on.
That's good. I like that.
I'd go into.
That's the best one. That's the best one.
Hold on. I would go into cardiac arrest.
Dueling dad joke.
You've been having a leaky blinder. Yep.
So the warden goes, "We've created the best ball and chain. Your ass!" Because you guys are going to be watching out for each other. You're going to be in like the herd mentality. You're like deer that just waiting to get killed.
I would have liked it if our warden went to the school of Billy Drago. If he were doing more, hand acting here, I would really appreciate his villainy a lot more.
Or
I said,
who's the guy, and I've forgotten his name, and you'll kill me for forgetting his name, but Avenging Force. Who's that? Who's the screamy guy? The villain from that?
John P. Ryan? John P. Ryan would kill it.
He would be amazing.
Yeah. I think this movie really would. We're all coming out. It's kind of flat. If they would have got a John P. Ryan in there,
they could. Judging by the look of this movie, they couldn't afford John P. Ryan because this movie debuted on HBO.
Yeah, this was a TV movie. What do you expect? Yeah. This is pre-Netflix. HBO made a weird little sci-fi movie.
Did they make it, or they just broadcast?
Or producer, gave it money.
So Frank gets his collar. And he learns the rules. No smoking. That's the most important thing. No smoking.
Oh, I get it, because it's got to set up for something later, and that's it. Why
no
smoking?
Because this was probably the start of the no smoke. Like, people thought, you're trampling on my rights.
Let's not put cigarettes in movies anymore?
Yeah, well, that's when like smoking started dying out. People started taking it.
I think showing Rutger trying to be, a nerd in this movie smoking, people will be like, I don't want to smoke anymore. Rutger's a bitch, and he's smoking in this.
No names. You're now colors. And then Rutger said, I am not a color. I'm a free man. little Iron Maiden / prisoner reference there.
Yep.
And Frank's like, fuck this shit. We get a scene. We go inside. We get a scene. We meet Emerald, who's like the worst kind of convict because he's working with the screws. You don't work with the fucking the man.
Is the screws a reference to the Jamaican gang in Screwface?
No, it's a slang for.
I got it wrong. That is Screwface.
It is Screwface?
So yeah. That is actually Screwface.
Man. I can't recognize him off the dread.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So it comes all full circle. The Easter egg for Mark for Death.
Yes.
Oh my God! That is so good.
So he's got like the kind of chain that the banks have their pens connected to, dangling from his ear.
Yeah, just the ball chain. Wait, ball and chain. Oh my God, the symbolism hit you hard.
He's like a drill sergeant. At first, I thought he was one of the guards. Like, no, he's a convict who's like working with the guard.
Yeah,
and he lays down the whole thing: no smoking. No, you're a color now. And then Rutger's like giggling to himself because he goes up to the Mimi Rogers, Tracy.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're ivory, white bitch."
Again, she is just looking like such a soccer mom, and yet everybody in the prison.
You're in a prison, Griff.
Like, we see all the other women in the prison, though, and there's all, like, the ladies of the 80s and everything.
You really don't. The only time you ever see women is the magic hour.
The magic hour.
You never see, like, when they're at the mess hall, it's always Ivory and nobody else, and other women.
Right. They only brought in the extras for one day. I get it. But still, it's like we see, in that scene at least, that there's a lot of other women to choose from. But Emerald, for whatever reason, like, I like that soccer mom look. So he's right on, and Tracy's trying to say, "My name's Trace." No, your name's Ivory. And he's like getting in there, and he's trying to like touch her face and everything. And she already have her headband on yet?
No, I don't remember her having a headband.
She has.
She had a headband on. She's a big fan of the Karate Kid, I think.
Yeah, that had to be a.
Frank gives a little chortle.
Yeah, Frank's chortling because he's learning about this new naming color scheme system.
Right.
Like, there's only 8 colors in the world. We've already run out.
You call me Roy then, Roy G. Biv.
How does Emerald, because he's the one that gives all the colors out, how does he remember them? Because he changes order at one point. He's like, "You're blue, green, red," and then he goes over to somebody else and like, "And you're white," and then he goes back to the. So how does he remember whether, I might be green, and then I go, "No, my name's blue." How's he going to remember? It's full of shit.
I was thinking the exact same thing, because as we go further in the movie, there's so many people in this prison. Like I said, there's 20 people outside. Then we get inside, and there's like 200 to 2,000 people. Yeah. How does he know all these colors, all these shades in between? How? Like, his friend's name is, how do you pronounce it?
Puce.
Puce. His friend's name is Puce.
Perfect name for a rat, though.
I loved it. Yeah.
I believe he's a shade of purple, I think.
He works so, like, go ahead.
Just think there's a prisoner in there called, like, Mauve with a shade of grey or something.
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, brown with a hint of blue, come here. Go clean the yard."
I like that.
No.
Emerald has been, he's been in here, let's say, a year. He's been saving Ivory for
the perfect white woman?
For the perfect third grade soccer mom. He's been waiting for her, and she's finally flown into his little burrow here, and he's so fucking stoked on it.
But Frank isn't. It's like I said, she's chortling away. He's like, "You think that's funny? You think that's funny? Magenta? Sick burn. You never want to be called Magenta."
Did he knee him? Did he abuse him here, or did he just call him Magenta? I don't remember.
He just got it in his face.
Just got it in his face? Okay.
So now we're going to figure out what...
he's also offended by his Prince Valiant
Who isn't?
Ivory.
He should call them Blondie.
Ivory and Teal. There's the two people that aren't offended by his hair.
So we said this is for profit. Prison,
yeah. Slave wages.
They're bringing back. I've always said we come from the land of spark factories, Detroit. Like they're dying off, and they're trying to bring them back.
Yeah.
So they're brought into the sparks factory. Sparks are flying everywhere, and then there's like microchips and shit. I don't know
That's
what
they're doing here. This is like
why is there welding going on?
Right. This is a very interesting jobs program that they again are being given slave wages for.
Well, they're prisoners. I don't think they're getting any wages.
Well, that doesn't mean slavery is okay.
Well, that's what they do now. You get like 5 cents a fucking hour or something in prison.
A packet of ramen is the going rate at the prisons these days.
And this is where Frank meets Teal. Because every movie where a white guy goes to prison, he meets a saintly black man who tells him the ropes. What's going on? Shawshank Redemption. We've seen them all.
Stuart, cast Teal for us if we did this movie today.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Okay.
I say Kevin Hart.
Would he have tape on his black large frame glasses?
Did he have tape on it?
That's what I'm asking about our modern version of this movie.
I think we're a little more subtle now.
We're a little more
80s,
subtle.
80s, definitely.
In the 80s, oh my
Pocket
god.
protector.
Why are you slapping your mic away?
Because I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.
Comb in the hair. There'd be one of them. I never quite understood that, but yeah, that'd be there if it's done nowadays.
Yeah.
The fro pick, yeah.
Yep.
His name's Teal, if we hadn't pointed it out already.
Yeah. And like I said, Teal is working with little gadgets. She's soldering chips together and everything. And he's got this big like
thermos,
cylinder.
and he's putting chips on top of it.
He's just like soldering chips to this plastic thermos. And it's like, what are you fucking doing here? And he explains these are like water converter limiter things.
Conservative, yeah.
It's a low flush toilet. And we know that Donald Trump clearly didn't get his way in this future because Donald Trump gave us back good toilets.
Right.
We waste 9.5 gallons per flush now, thanks to Donald Trump.
We don't waste. We enjoy.
We enjoy. While half of the South is flooding right now, we're just flushing our toilets.
There's a subplot where, much like today, LA is going through a drought. So you can only you can either shave, shower, or shit once a day. Only one of them.
That's rough.
And it's just a thermos of water you get to use.
We have that in the UK. People keep panic buying toilet rolls and pasta for some reason. So that's started up again.
That's still a thing?
Yeah, that happens here. It's happening everywhere.
It died down for a while, and then it looks like it's ramping back up again. So it's
shit. That sucks. I've
been rushing out to get my horse dewormer. You know?
Got to get that ivermectin, man.
Yeah, I'll take that. Fuck a vaccine. I'll take horse dewormer. That's proven.
I have heard that it's been used for humans in the past for various things, but still, it was like hearing Joe Rogan be like, "You don't need to do that. You just need to be in good shape, like me." And then when he got it,
cocktail of medication.
He lists off like 14 things. He's like, "I got an IV drip. I got a nurse here full time. I took the." It's like, shut the fuck up. Go get the vaccine. It's fucking free. Anyways,
I'm still injecting myself with sunlight and bleach. That's still a thing. That works.
That's good. You guys, have you been getting a good amount of sunlight? Do you feel like you're getting enough sunlight into you?
We live in the UK. We don't get any sun. I have to Google what the sun looks like. No.
So do you have like a really good monitor that gets incredibly bright and you put on photos of the sun and then you just, Yeah,
I just keep watching Danny Boyle's Sunshine. It's like, ooh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
As we've learned from our buddy Joe Coleman, a tan fixes everything.
Tan fixes everything.
Thunderdome is how I get my summer, by watching Thunderdome.
There we go.
Thank me later.
So the warden comes in. He's like, Magenta, I'd like to talk to you.
Frank goes to meet Teal. Immediately, Frank is just like, "What is the Iron Maiden sign? I'm not a color. I'm a man.
I'm not a color. I'm a free man."
He uses his name and he fucking gets his finger smashed for it. You're Magenta. But yeah, Teal working on things. But our warden comes in.
He's like, "I'd like to talk to you. Come to my office." And this is where he has the tray of kumquats piled up and the orchids. It's very sparse. Very interesting off. And we see that he's like, "Let's cut the shit. I know you know where the diamonds are, and I want them. You give them to me, and I'll make your fucking stay in this prison beautiful." First of all, if I had to be in prison, I'd rather be in this prison.
Oh yeah,
because I give up my name. I can fuck like an hour a day, 3 hours, really. They say call it magic hour, but it's magical because it's 3, because he's a 7 to 10. I can fuck women. I mean, what's wrong with this? Yeah.
I really don't know what to say about this prison, because it's like, you have the slave work, or is it like a jobs program? Are they helping people after they get out? But then it's like, do they have the water? They seem to have real food.
They have enough for their floaters?
They have.
Which you haven't gotten into yet.
Another Joe Rogan favorite. They have deprecation tanks. Is that what they're called?
They're called sensory deprivation.
Yeah. And Joe Rogan loves those.
Would you do that? I would never do that. Would you do that?
I would.
I would freak out.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I'd do a deprivation one. I wouldn't do a defecation one, because that's a very different one.
Oh, is that what I
said? Well, he does one later on.
It does become a deprivation. Oh God! An accurate.
No, that would creep me out. I get too claustrophobic. But so he's like, "Yeah, just give me the deets about the diamonds." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, I thought he was gonna release them. I thought that was what. The deal was
he's just gonna make it better,
easier.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, so, he's trying to get the diamonds off, and he's like, I don't know where they ended up. Everybody knows just tell me. And he's got his gardening shears on him, which apparently are incredibly sharp. And at one point, Rutger actually snatches him from the warden's hand, and he's got him, and he's pointing him at him like he's going to stab him.
I gotta kill you. It's like, go ahead. I know you don't have...
Cut your hair. Jesus. That's what he should have done with it. Cut his mop off.
Yeah. He's like, I know the cut of your jib. You could never murder. You could rob. You could steal. But you could never murder. And he just relents. He cans over the shear. He's like, you're right. I can't, bitch.
Yeah.
And he flicks his hair across his shoulder and walks out.
Yeah, he gets excused, and he's like, I'll work on you later. I have a feeling you'll be willing to talk as the days go by.
So it's lunchtime, bro.
Yep, and Frank's got to head down to the mess hall, and there's a beautiful sign set up outside, and he has to go underground to get to it.
Where there's pipes everywhere.
Where there's just pipes. What is this place?
And you hear this beautiful voice, hey, man, what the fuck? Annie Trejo. And he gets his throat slashed by Emerald.
Yeah, right under the collar.
Right under it.
Right under. So what does this mean for the person he's attached to?
Yeah, I guess they're dead. I don't know.
And also now we have an odd number.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, dude, what is it? Maybe they have to have an even number of prisoners here.
Yeah, they always have to have an even number of prisoners.
So what do they do with the person?
The guy would be fine because it's the Wedlock collar wasn't tampered with, was it? So the collar is still attached to Trejo's neck. So it wouldn't have gone off, so it's fine.
Right. But, okay, what are they going to do with the body? Are they just leaving it there? Or are they going to dump it somewhere, thus possibly putting it beyond the 100 yards and blowing him up?
Right.
Emerald, I have to imagine, knows who he's wedlocked to, because he's the warden's rat.
Right.
They will do a prison remake of Weekend at Bernie's.
That sounds like a movie for me. Yeah, I would watch that all day.
So this is the genius of not knowing who your partner is, because if you did, I'd chop Trejo's head off, take the collar, put it in my pocket, and then
that's all you got to do. You can go where you want.
What's the life of the batteries to these things? They run on batteries. Are they nuclear powered like infrared? Because you think you just wait for the batteries to die out. Would that negate the whole thing?
In this future, we have finally solved batteries. We have no water.
It's solar powered.
But we finally figured out batteries. No, they're just perpetual motion machines. They constantly recharge themselves.
There's a gerbil inside of it that runs on a wheel?
Yes, there's a gerbil in there. And also the gerbil is infinite. They're Highlanders. They found Highlander gerbils that they breeded that turn a little fucking circuit in the collar.
So he witnesses a murder, and he says, well, time to eat.
He turns around, but there's like one hallway that we've established here, but he somehow still ends up on the other side of that hallway in the mess hall.
In the mess hall, he meets up with Teal. Teal's like, he's there. He's showing him the ropes. He's like, I'm your black messiah. Let me tell you what's going on.
Oh, yeah. And he does it. I think Frank sits down and immediately tells him about the murder he just witnessed.
Yeah.
And I think Teal tells him, like, yeah, Emerald's part of the executioners. Like, he was saying there was like a big gang war in here.
He was in a gang, so he's willing to kill. You don't fuck with.
Okay. And he
was in the Gramercy riff.
That quickly moved on to Teal trying to tell him, like, again, this sandwich, I'm not a sandwich person, Murray. This looked like a pretty classic sandwich. Didn't look sad or anything.
I didn't even notice it, so I don't think it was that. I was offended by the sandwich he brings Rutger later, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, okay. I'm really interested to hear why you're offended. Because it was white bread?
Get into it.
Okay.
Teal, he's like, yeah, that happens all the time. But when you ever hear about magic hour?
Oh, excuse me.
What?
Magic hour?
He's like, you can fuck all night long. Well, for 3 hours. 7 to 10.
5 minutes.
Bang the broads.
5 minutes. Time to go visit.
Yeah, and as many as you want. You just fit him in that magic hour.
Yeah, it's like junior high prom. Except with fucking, probably. There's probably like one couple out of junior high prom that goes off to the bathroom and bangs.
And then as they're talking about that, we hear Ivory, did somebody say fucking? And then she's like all over Frank.
Jesus Christ. This, again, they are giving me shades of evil in this Ivory character, because you know what she's doing? She's clawing all over him, hands all over him, getting face to face with him immediately. With that face, you cut yourself. It's jagged, like a cliffside. Rutger, the hair, the face, and these young women hanging on you, not working out well. So she's all up on him. It's giving me shades of Noelle earlier, who is this beautiful young woman all over him. And it's like, what is happening
What is
here?
the power that Frank Genta has?
We're
not seeing it.
What future did we just idolize these little techno people?
Well, we do that
tech
now.
people. What
nerds
tech
are
people?
taking over the world? They're ruining society.
How?
With fucking comic books and fucking movies and cosplay and all that shit that I can't fucking stand.
That's ruining the world?
Yes, it is.
Chucking
Fuck
the name,
you, nerd.
The world is burning
if you're
down.
the ultimate nerd who's ruining the world. Fucking Zuckerberg.
There we go.
There you go.
There is ultimate nerds ruining the world, but I'd say they're not nerds anymore.
Everybody who's like a billionaire is a fucking nerd. They all want to go to space. Fuck them. Fuck you, Elon Musk. Fuck you, Richard Branson. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
That's right.
So,
Ivory's
You forgot
He's
Tom
like-
Cruise. He wants to go to space as well.
fuck him too. Even though he's a Twitter friend of Stuart.
Has been for many years, I might add. Yeah.
That's just how they kid with each other.
They're just in the Church of Scientology.
Haven't you
together.
noticed in every movie Tom Cruise says "fuck you, Stuart"? It's their jib. They got each other.
Yeah.
That's cute. I love that you guys have that.
Oh, Tom, bless him.
While she's doing that, we see this little Emerald's underling. Looks like a pube. He's got this stringy. His hair is rivaling fucking Rutger's
Yes.
is the worst hair in the fucking movie.
Just dead. It's just hanging off his head instead of living.
And then he whispers something to Emerald. Emerald's got other shit to do.
Yeah. So we know he's evil. I mean, he's already got the face, the hair, the look. Yeah, everything about him.
Oh, Frank's, he's like, he lost his appetite because he had ivory all over him.
Yeah.
And he's walking back to his cell. Like, were they ever in cells ever in this movie?
I don't know. I no, they just have bunk beds.
Can't remember.
That's true.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a hostel. It's just a big room with bunk beds all over.
Well, yeah, because you got to, we're right, because they got to be 100 yards within 100 yards of each other.
Yeah.
And then that's it. When they sleep, it shrunk down again. Then they're just like 50 people in the prison.
Right.
Very weird.
Well, there's multiple bunk rooms, man.
There's, like I said, it's very liberal with the 100-yard thing. Like, there's only so many people you can fit in a prison.
Yeah,
within 100 yards.
How far are the women away? It looked like these were concrete walls. How was the wireless technology? Because that's pretty impressive. If it can sense the other collar through concrete and everything.
So Emerald grabs Frank. Goes, stay away from that bitch. I've been waiting for years for the finest white bitch to call Ivory. I've been holding on to that name.
A mommy who looks like she likes the soccer. I want her. She's a soccer mommy. Come on.
It's still nuts. You wait years and then you pick Mimi Rogers. It's like, what? No offense, Mimi, but you know.
It's just, her hair, like, she looks fine. It's just that haircut she has. It just reminds me of the bowl cuts my friends had in 3rd grade. That's what it reminds me of. Little boy haircuts from the 3rd grade. What year would that have been? That would have been like 1992, 3. A little before this year. Or a little after this year. Anyways.
Then it's perfect.
It's perfect. She has a little boy's haircut.
So, cut to, they're sleeping in their bunk beds.
Mm.
And infection, you got to have that.
Oh, yeah. It's
every
just,
prison movie.
Every prison movie and every army movie.
And we look under Frank's mattress. What do we have here?
Oh, boy.
Cigarettes, cancer sticks.
Can't smoke. That was one of the 3 rules they gave you. No smoking.
Sorry, Frank, off to the floater. And he's like, what? Okay. Take him off. And the warden's like, look. And he gives a little look to Emerald. Like, you could have thrown some matches in there to make it look like I'm really smoking. Take him to the floater room.
Warden gives him another spiel about what's about to happen. I just need those diamonds. All you got to do. See, hand acting. If he was hand acting right now, it would have been so much better. If he floated the hat. He does wear the hat snug when he wears the trucker. He's always went in a nice suit, but he wears a trucker hat because of the branding.
Right.
Like you said, Donald Trump.
Man of the people.
Yeah. A man of the people.
He definitely, pulls the horn on the semi. He doesn't drive it. He just,
oh, yeah, he gets in there. That is one of the classic pictures.
And Frank's like, I don't know what you're talking about, diamonds. Get in the floater. And it's like we point out, it's a sensory deprivation chamber. filled with water. They strip him down to his boxers and his wife beater.
Yep.
And his fucking tube socks.
Yep.
Throw him in there.
And he's just going to be closed in there for God knows how long. Apparently, he's pissing and shitting. Okay.
You have to, yeah.
This really is turning in less of a deprivation tank and more of a defecation tank because he is.
It's human stew.
Yeah, unless it's like flushing it out and then refilling it with water. Adding so much more logic to this movie.
Well, they also point out they don't feed him on top of it. He's in there at least a month because he has a beard by the time he's fucking taken out.
Huh. Is this? Are we getting into some religious themes here? Is he like a Christ-like figure?
No, he's in his own filth.
Okay.
Because he's in there, and like about a day later, because he got this little stubble.
Yep.
Teal comes in. Hey, I got you an apple and this shitty ass cheese sandwich.
So this is your
not
offense.
even grilled cheese. It's just like a slice of fucking
grilled
American
cheese. They're in
cheese.
prison.
And it's like, who wants a fucking soggy ass sandwich? It's like, oh, wet. Bring me a drumstick, something like I can like work with. Who wants a soggy wet sandwich?
All you've been eating
doesn't
is
even
the
have it in a
fumes
bag.
of your own shit for a week, though. You're going to have a sandwich, aren't you? What are you going to ask for? A filet au fish or a croissant? No.
Croissant, please.
Croissant.
I would love a beautiful croissant. Can I get some fresh butter for that croissant?
Oh, like you said, you're in your own filth. You'll eat whatever you can take because apparently they're not feeding him on top of it.
I love Rutger's acting here. His eyes are wide open. He's somehow looking a little gaunter. The stubble's working for me. He's reaching for that sandwich and he's probing with his finger. Great. Oh, fucking Billy Drago hand acting here. He's probing that sandwich with his finger. I'm sure he was thinking the same thing. Oh, it's a little soggy. It's white bread. There's no nutrition here. This is just what kind of
and
cheese?
It's American
is
cheese. That's the thing. There's
American.
And we're not vegetable oil.
We have recreated American cheese with actual, dairy in it. But yeah, the original where it's just plastic.
Yeah. No, probably didn't even take the peel off. He left the plastic peel on top of it. It doesn't get soggy at least.
I have definitely had that happen once where somebody gave me something and they didn't take the peel off of the cheese. Do you guys have individually sliced cheese slices like that, Stuart? Okay.
We do. Not on purpose, but no, we do. They're in case of emergencies, in case we haven't got any decent cheese to eat, then we do have that.
But somebody handed me a cheeseburger and they didn't take the plastic, so I bit into it. I was like, what the fuck?
Was the cheese like melted inside of it too?
Oh man, what was I don't remember the consistency of the cheese. It was just immediately like, because that was when I was younger and I still had all my food phobias. So I immediately nearly vomited and just threw the thing as far as I could from me.
So he shuts it down because we're Teal's doing this on the down low. He's not supposed to be doing this. And then the next week maybe, because he's got a little more beard.
Yeah.
Opens it up. It's fucking Emerald standing over it, whipping his dick out. He's like, you want some lemonade to go with that?
With that, he still has the sandwich.
Well, we see a core of an apple floating by his head.
Was there? Yes. What the fuck? The details of this movie.
And there's probably, now we don't know it's called the floater because there's probably shit that's floating all in this.
Here's my other favorite part of this deprivation chamber on the scene from
No, it's a defecation chamber.
Excuse me, the defecation chamber. Is that what we've always seen? This is like a Penn and Teller magic trick. Is that the door to open it is always one long, huge piece, one big door. Yeah. Suddenly now it opens in half.
Yeah, it's like a casket. Yeah.
Yeah, so he opens just the top half so he can stand on the bottom half. I love it.
This is where Rutger's finally starting to crack. Once you piss on a guy's face, you start cracking. So he's like, no, stop!
And he reaches up and closes the door. No, go away.
Yo, that's right. He did close the door himself. Yeah.
He's like, I'm swimming in my own piss. I don't need more piss.
He let the whole thing hit him. It took him that long to realize he was being pissed on or something. Maybe, he is in complete darkness. So when it opens, he was probably blinded. It was like, oh, is someone showering something delicious on me? No, that's piss.
So then, I guess another week later, the door opens. It's the warden. Tell me where the diamonds are. I'll get you out of here. I don't know. He's still not broken. He's like, I don't know.
That's after Holiday nearly vomits in the thing. by smelling it all.
Oh.
I thought he saw Rutger's hair all wet and covered in piss, and it just made him sick.
You know, he got a beard. His hair didn't get any longer, though.
Well, beard grows quick.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So the warden gets on the horn with somebody. He's like, look, I can't break this guy. You told me I would break him. He's got piss phobia. And my best man piss on him.
Giving him a shitty sandwich. Still nothing.
So they just release him. They're like, yeah, this ain't going to work.
Have you been giving him the soggy cheese sandwiches with the plastic still on the cheese? Yeah, every 9 days.
Frank takes time to shave. Back to the mess hall.
He did take time to shave.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ivory immediately on him.
Immediately. He's going down the assembly line. He's grabbing a sandwich. He's grabbing an egg roll. He's grabbing a very nice banana. Still in the future. I thought bananas were going to be extinct. That's what they say. But maybe these were imitation bananas. Maybe I think plantains are being affected by the same fungi. Anyways,
I don't know.
So Ivory all over him. Hey, that's a nice sandwich. You want to put your dick in it so I can eat it? God, gross! Let me fucking eat. And so he just tries to rush.
I think that's why he gets these women, because he plays hard to get.
Plays hard to get. That's it.
That turns women on. I got to have him now.
Oh, everybody. Sure, that's it. That's got to be it.
Well, who else would want to fuck a guy with a Prince Valiant haircut?
I don't know how many women who would be just approaching him like, fuck me now, and only because he's playing hard to get. Not a casual thing to have a woman come up and say, can you put your dick in between that bread, that soggy bread?
I've been there. So he's like, get away. I haven't eaten in a month. Let me have my soggy sandwich in peace. So he's walking to his table. And then we see a zoom in.
He's speed walking. He's very quickly trying to get away from
Well, he's trying to get his, ability back.
And nutrition.
His muscles atrophied.
Yeah, he hasn't walked. He hasn't moved his arms, really. He's been stuck in that tank, that defecation tank, for a long time.
And then we zoom in on a nice shot of some size 10 New Balances. No Velcro straps.
No Velcro. Well, prisoners can't have Velcro. Wait, you think it'd be the opposite?
Yeah, you would. But you don't need it. It's Wedlock. It's the perfect ball and chain.
Sure.
Oh, it's pubes. He puts that New Balance out there, trips our boy.
You even put in the note you really wanted that.
Obviously, size 10.
You really wanted.
And lo and behold, he spills his whole soggy sandwich on Emerald. Emerald just happens to be there.
Yep.
And Emerald doesn't like that. And he's like, "Cheese, Magenta, you make coffee nervous." Nice little sick burn to put in there.
Yeah.
Emerald's ready to kill.
Yep.
And Frank, he's first of all, he's a nerd, can't fight. And on top of it, he's been deplenished.
Yeah.
So he can't put up a fight. Emerald's like, "I'm going to kill you, motherfucker." And then the fight breaks out.
He wails on him a few times, and then he pins him to a table, and somebody is just eating buttered Parmesan noodles. If we want to talk about lack of nutrition, everything in this prison is a carb with some kind of cheese or fake cheese on it.
Apple every once in a while, low fiber.
That is true. You're right about that.
Cut 2. It's Magic Day.
What if they cut the peel off all the apples?
Is Magic Hour every day, like happy hour, or is it once a week? I don't remember.
I think probably once a week's probably enough, isn't it?
Once a week.
Otherwise, the women got to rest.
They need to replenish.
The warden tried to explain it at one point because he was breaking down the science of the brain and how you make prisoners more functional and more better slave labor. And he's like, you give them the magic hour, but I don't think he said how often it was.
Now you definitely got a PlayStation 5 now, don't you? Go, here you go. You don't need a partner. Just have a PS5, and then they would be very happy and behave.
Apparently, I mean, you have a Street Fighter tournament every once in a while, and everybody's happy.
I think that would cause a lot of strife. People, they're sore losers.
There's definitely sore losers, but hey, you lose, you go to the defecation tank for a week. It's no big deal.
The Xbox fans would be fighting with the PlayStation fans.
That's the gangs that break out.
The one Nintendo fan would, he'd be mad.
The Nintendo fans would be the untouchables. People are like, oh, we don't want to look at them. That's what the Nintendo fans would be.
They'd all be Mario.
Frank is in the fuck room because 100 yards. He's got to be there. and he's reading a magazine.
Was he?
Yeah,
Popular Science?
And I don't know what it was. And Ivory comes up to him. Hey, want to fuck? It's magic hour. I'm trying to read. Leave me alone.
I'm trying to fuck my brain with education.
He's like, come on, let's do this. If you'll let me finish this, I'll come along with you. So he comes along with the room. They're being monitored. It's just being filmed. It's going on the internet.
Frank and me. Of course it is. OnlyFans. They got their rights back. Well, they didn't get their rights back. They just said they were going to keep doing it.
Because they realized they'd make no money at all. I thought OnlyFans was just pornography. I didn't even know it was. What else? Who wants to talk to somebody with their clothes on?
Well, I think we talked about it on podcast, but they were essentially going to lose their backing by Visa and MasterCard, so people wouldn't be able to pay them
Which
easily.
Is bullshit.
They would have had to go through cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But this is what like the crazy evangelical, right does, and then business goes along with it for some reason, even though it's like 30% of our country. Yeah, because they're cowards. Yeah, they somehow skirted that.
So she's like making it look like she wants to fuck him. She's rubbing him and shit.
Yep. Gotta play it up for the camera here. Pretend you're into me. I'm gonna go ahead and get your dick out. Just pretend you really like it for the camera because we gotta make it look like we're really doing this here.
I gotta tell you a secret. We're wedlocked. You're my partner. How did you know that? I banged a guard. And he told ugh.
Rutger is very asexual at this point of the movie.
Yes, and then he's super sexual later on. It was weird.
It's a switch.
And Ivory's like, shut up, you got pissed on by a prisoner. Shut your face.
Yeah.
Maybe he's into it. He's
water
into gold shower.
Possibly. But these cameras must have no audio then, because she's like, the cameras are up there. Quick, come over here 5 feet and I'll tell you that I screwed your guard.
Well, they have some respect,
and I know who you're
Stuart.
with.
Come on.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I wouldn't. I'd like to hear the sounds as well as watch the video. But
so if you're the warden for this prison, you have the cameras in the magic hour rooms, which are just like the like sliding Japanese doors. Those that's what it looked like to me.
Paper doors.
The paper doors. They didn't seem like they were soundproofed at all. So this room is probably weird to be in. Just a lot of people fucking noises and slapping.
Well, unfortunately, gotta be 100 yards. Then 100 yards, you got to put up with it.
But we talked about this. This is an American football field. You can spread that room out a little bit. Spread that. What if every room was just? It seems okay. Never mind.
So he rejects her again. He's like, "I will have nothing to do with you, woman. You harlot." Cut to the Spark shop.
Saving it for marriage.
Ivory is still like, Frank, I have to talk to you. And M's like, talking to my bitch again? I don't want nothing to do with her. She's got boobies. And he's like, that's my bitch, motherfucker.
Yeah. And Ivory turns to him and he's like, my man on the inside told me a little secret. My little spiders told me a secret that you guys went into the magic hour room together. So they're not all in the same room because you think Emerald would have saw that. Because Emerald would have been all over
banging
her.
Somebody while they were.
That's possible. It was kind of democratic too. Like people were coupling off. There was no anyway. I can't get into that line of thinking either. We've gone down too many rabbit holes here.
So M sucker punches Frank. And the fight breaks out. The guard goes, wait, hold up.
Yeah, because Ivory sold him out. Ivory was like, he was in the room with me, saw my boobies. And so Emerald just gets furious and pummels him. Yeah.
Guard, we're going to fight the right way. Your dog. And you hear, 1 man in, 2 men in,
Loved
1 man leave, 2 men in.
Love it.
We see Caster and Blaster. They're paired off because they have their collars.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, holy shit. Frank is pissing himself again because he's like, I can't beat up Emerald. I'm a nerd.
I think we just and dated 2 different movies because we know Mark for Death is in this. Oh, we said it could just be that they're replaying it. Never mind.
Right.
Never mind.
So they're back at the bunks. They got their like 8 hours of off time to do what they want, their leisure time. And he's working because he's a nerd. He's working on this gadget. Still shows up. Like, what are you working on, Frank? I'm working on a way to deactivate my collar.
Was it that? I thought it was a way to fuck with
You're right.
Emerald
You're
to
right.
win the fight.
You're right.
It was
to amplify like a subsonic sound.
It was something to do with fuck with his ear and, just rattle him so we could win the fight or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, you you've been my black messiah. You've taught me everything I need to know to survive, even though I'm going to die in the next 24 hours. I want you to have my diamonds.
I'm ready. I'm ready to tell somebody about my diamond. It's on her pillow. Home.
My pillow?
My pillow. He's got a Mike Lindell.
No, before he does that, but first, test this. Like you said, this little trick he's going to use. Because he has to use tricks because he's a nerd. He can't fight.
Yeah.
So he's like, we'll amplify this subsonic sound. It'll fuck with Emerald's inner ear. He'll be off balance. I'll win the fight. So he puts the little thing on, and immediately he puts it on. He's like, ah! Teal's like freaking out. And he's like, I haven't even turned it on yet.
What? So, Stuart, do you remember what happens here? Do you want to tell us about it?
I think that Rutger was like, a little light bulb goes off on his head going, that's kind of strange. Let me try it on mine. That hurts. It's made my hair stand on end even more. I don't like that. And then he works out that there is a spy in the camp.
Yeah.
So he kind of stands up and is like, oh my God, you're an informer. And all the other prisoners just beat the shit out of this guy going, somebody said he's an informer. There's no questioning. There's no, what's he talking about?
No.
It's just like, let's kill him. And they just beat the crap out of him. So
Snitches get stitches. Nobody likes a rat.
I couldn't believe this. So again,
except for Emerald, who's clearly working openly with the warden. They're cool with him.
Oh, right.
But he's an execution.
It's the hierarchy of prison, though, you know? Everyone's got
it's that dangly ball earring.
The TV show Recess taught me all about the hierarchies of class systems and everything. It's a very intelligent show. Very. So, yeah. Now I was like, wait. When we go to the next scene, I was like, wait. Did they murder Teal? So I guess
we never see him again.
We never see him again. Oh, they killed him. And I guess they threw him in the acid vault.
Yeah.
Or they just put him in the deprivation tank.
Just left him there.
The next person has to be in there with a rotting corpse. Anyways, next day.
Fight. Everyone's like, fight. It's like playground fight. We get the circle set up. And Emerald immediately goes for the nut. Fucking hauls off on fucking Frank's nuts, sucker punches him.
Well, yeah, because Pube, he has Rutger's arms tied behind his back. So he can't even block this nut grab. And Emerald, he goes it deep and hard. Fast.
Kicks fucking Frank down a hill. And Frank, as he goes down the hill, he notices a stick. He uses that. Grabs it.
It looked like the handle off like a little hatchet or something. Like it was a little too perfect. It looked like a nice piece of pine that was polished and everything. But he finds it, and, you know, he's just a fucking mess. He's done. Emerald has had enough, too. He's like, my hands are getting swollen. Turns his back. The warden's like, oh, look at him. He's got a stick down there. What is he going to do against my champion? Well, Rutger apparently does get his second win. He manages to get to his feet, just bleeding like a stuck pig. And
wearing a crimson mask.
Wearing a crimson mask. And that blonde Prince Valiant hair, I get it now. It's got all the blood sticking to it.
You're getting Ric Flair vibes?
I got Ric Flair vibes. The horror
he
show.
Did go, woo! And then he put the stick in between his neck and the collar, starts wrenching on it.
The warden is just like, what does he think he's going to do to my man? Well, what he's going to do is apparently these things have an easy way. You can just pry at them slightly and they pop open, but not
well,
completely
I told him in the beginning, do not fuck with these collars.
That's true.
They will blow up.
But wouldn't you think these guys would be fucking with each other all the time? Like, if I slit somebody's throat, you think they would just pop his collar and be like,
I don't know. I guess there's a little... Well, because they don't know if that could be your partner, for all you know. That was the insidiousness of the plan.
But they were still willing to kill him.
Yeah,
he went up
without blowing yourself up. As long as you don't mess with that collar, you're okay, aren't you?
Right.
I'm surprised, like, modern prisons haven't thought of doing this because it kind of makes sense.
Jesus, Murray.
So,
don't give our prison system any more bad ideas.
So, welcome to the golan-globus penitentiary network.
Jesus Christ. Well, ours would be Penitentiary 3.
I'm gonna need some fodder for my tournaments. You know, I need jobbers.
Right. We need jobbers. We need champions.
So, as you'd expect, Emma's freaking out. Oh, what the fuck? And then Puce is like, no! Like, apparently they knew that they were...
Well, yeah, because when it starts to beep, so these guys all could have figured out, like one at a time, they could have figured out who it was. Like he could have walked 101 yards because it doesn't immediately go off, as we learn later with the logic of the movie. Mm-hmm. It just beeps, and the other person's collar beeps too.
Yeah, so you could have like 50 pairs of people just running off in different directions, couldn't you, if they actually put their brains together and worked out which was their partner. Yeah.
But they could have done that.
But they're criminals. That's why they don't trust each other.
Yeah, they could have.
That's a great plan.
They could have gone outside and like one person at a time run out 100 feet or 100 yards, and then their collar's gonna beep and their partner's collar's gonna beep. They could have learned it right then and there. Like, there's so many ways to get around this awful system.
Yeah.
This is the Trump. I'm just gonna build a wall that'll solve everything. Type of solution to this problem. But
this wouldn't work if Steven Seagal was in there, though, because every time a beep went off, he'd think it was a microwave and he'd run off to get the food, wouldn't he? Oh. So it depends. It depends on the prisoners you've got in there, I think.
Depends on what.
How big would the collar have to be to go around Seagal's neck?
Yes. What era Seagal are we working with? Modern Seagal? Yes, we need a hula hoop.
After exit wounds, yeah, definitely a hula hoop. He'd look like Saturn, wouldn't he?
We'd have to get him one of those inflatable dog collars that they do when they get the stitches and shit.
Doggone.
Yeah.
So Emerald and Puce go boom. They blow up.
I did like how Puce died. I loved his little face. I like that. I love that he ran away. And Emerald exploding too was a pretty good effect.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Nice scanner type.
Yes. Yeah, I got to watch Scanners again. I need some Michael Ironside in my life.
Great film.
I'll do.
Michael Ironside.
Frank is still...
There you go.
There we go.
Could be.
I do randomly watch episodes of V to get my Ironside in.
Yeah.
Your daily dose of iron.
Frank
is still eating the shit.
Wait,
so
I thought you threw the Velcros away. You're dadding all over the place. Are they back on?
Back on.
They're back on.
I've cooled down.
That's why you're so comfortable today.
Right. Well, the weather's been beautiful. I've loved it.
It's wonderful weather.
So they put him in an ambulance, and Ivory's like, "Fuck it, he's my Wedlock."
Yeah, she knows. So
she leaps in, takes off, and like you said, there's no guard towers, there's no fences. He just drives off.
I mean, Frank's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And even during all this anarchy, Tracy manages to even grab his glasses, and they were fine, even though he got pummeled. And it's like, okay, why not? Sure. And by the way, have to mention this because Murray's going to be very upset when I remind him of this fact. Rutger has tied just the top part of his hair back.
I thought he did that later on.
I'm pretty sure it was here for his fight. He didn't want his hair getting in his food.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible. It was like this kind of like samurai.
Yep.
Ugh.
He was trying to channel his inner warrior.
It didn't work.
It did not work.
Tracy, woman driver, she immediately, like after a mile, drives off the fucking road.
What's going on with steering wheels, man? In the future,
crashes. So then they start running away. They're in like a desert wilderness type environment.
Yeah, they climb like over a cliffside, and now they're just standing over a river. And
the cops are shooting at them,
right?
And Tracy's like, "I'm jumping." Are you crazy? That's at least 101 yards. And she's like, "I know, and you're gonna follow me, motherfucker." Geronimo jumps off. He's like, I have to. So he leaps off too.
So we are 90 minutes in this episode. Welcome to Act 2 of the movie, everybody.
This is where it really gets good.
15 minutes into Wedlock we're at now. So
yes.
Well.
Where it really gets good.
So now the fun of this movie is just going to be them slightly like pushing each other's boundaries because they're tethered by this 100-yard system.
So they go down some whitewater rafting.
Yep, just rushing down the river here, and of course Tracy gets in too deep or bumps her head or something.
Well, yeah, you could easily be separated by 100 yards going down. You can't control yourself going on what? But she's a broad.
Yeah,
else to say it. He grabs her because she like drowns practically.
Yeah,
he pulls her out. Does the titty squeeze CPR?
Hey,
he's warming up to her.
He's a man of technology. He doesn't know how to resuscitate people.
Yeah, because he's just squeezing her tits.
That was all he's doing. He was honking her. Yeah.
And he's like, you might want to get a mammogram. I learned that from Sensei Seagal. But it works because she spits water in his face. We get a little laugh, ha ha ha.
And then she looks up and slaps him in the face. And then he's like, I didn't want to do that. And then he slaps her in the face.
Right, this was the moment where I changed my opinion of this film because I started off watching. I saw this film in the video store when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. And I always remember it being a kind of a cheesy science fiction, serious type film. And then last night, I'm like, oh, God, this film's really dated. What have these guys done to me? Even though I put it on the list.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought I'd put that out.
What have we done to us?
But then when he slapped her back, there was just laughs per minute. You know, I think it all started with Mimi Rogers just looking at Rutger going, why are you checking me? You're not a qualified mammogramist. Get off. Yeah. And then the slap thing, and I'm like, right, oh, yeah, this is a stupid comedy, isn't it? And it reminded me how bonkers this film was. And then I was along for the ride for the rest of the movie.
Got really confused after they left the prison, and that's how we got welcome, was that slap scene, because that's what I laughed. I was dying. I fell over. I was like, what are...
Domestic abuse is really funny, guys.
So well, it was in 1991. You know, people laughed at it then. So, you know.
It was. Yeah. It was a great... old days.
To be fair, she slapped him first. And they weren't in a house, so there was no domestic. It was just outdoor abuse.
These are the technicalities that help people get away, so there you go.
Yeah, they are. My friend OJ learned... No, I didn't.
Shout out to OJ!
Loyal listener, OJ's... Oh, God.
So we cut to the warden's office, that beautiful kumquat-covered office. And we see Sam and Noelle there. We're like, what? They've been working together? Yes, they have.
This is Neil Breen level conspiracies.
And the warden's like, look, you guys have been giving me a lot of trouble. I was down with taking a third of this diamond thing, but I want half.
Yeah, and Sam, the hot-headed freak that he is, he's like, motherfucker. I thought he was going to pull his little gardening shears and stab him. I was like, oh, the completion of that circle, like showing the two sides of Rutger, and it was like, no, and he just pulls a gun on him. But Noelle comes in and lowers the gun, and she's like, whispers in his ears, like, what's going on with Noelle? She's got a power over people.
Well, yeah, what happens is the warden goes, you see this here? Pulls out a remote control. I could blow up his head right now, and then nobody gets the
garage door opener.
It was. But it worked. Because Noelle was like, look, Sam, we'll take half. Half of something is better than thirds of nothing. Oh. And she does the math. And he's like, Sam's like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. So I agree. They're going to give the warden half.
And we go back to Tracy and Frank, and they're on foot, wearing some interesting Far East outfits.
No, we see that this is like a little, like you said, now it becomes a comedy.
Yeah.
Where there's a just married, like a limo that says just married. Get it? Because it's Wedlock. They steal the suitcase out of it. But unfortunately, this was the Nigerian prince that everyone wants to give the money to everybody in their emails.
Yeah.
And so they get these wacky, like Indian, African outfits. And we're supposed to be laughing because he's wearing a turban and...
Doesn't work today.
No.
Not at all.
Well, it offended me because it was just dumb.
Yeah.
And they're like, just walking along the road wearing these like billowy things.
Of course, we got to get out of these ridiculous clothes. I don't know where they are, but we saw people in the street view of the jewelry mart wearing like a wide range of clothes. So why is it like we stick out like a sore thumb? It's like the collar.
We don't know where they are. Maybe they're like in Middle America where you're a terrorist if you wear.
Oh, you know what? If they went that route, I'd be like, okay, you got.
That's where all the prisons are. Rural areas.
That's pretty true. It's mostly true. We tried to build a fucking prison in downtown Detroit.
So yeah, they're like, we got to get some money. Got to eat. We got to get some clothes. How do we do that? They stumble on Old West Town. It's just there.
Just a little pop-up, little Western town. I loved it. It had like the street with the stores on either side of it and everything.
And if you need money, where do you go? You go to the New Age shop.
Who goes to the New Age shop for money?
That's the thing. Nobody thinks about that. So there's plenty of money there. They're selling crystals for $1,500.
Not to mention the essential oils. And, I mean, come on. They've had to go through so many COVID-like things in this future, wherever we're at. We know they've got the ginseng enemas ready. I saw those in the case there. So they
I saw the horse tranquilizer or whatever it was that Joe Rogan uses. That was on the shelf.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan.
Ivermectin.
Ginseng enema. That's all you need.
Yeah, I already wrote Joe. I told him about that.
He's a good friend.
Well, he's a little upset at us, but that's why I had to write him.
Because we're the number one podcast now. He used to be. We supplanted him with Rutger Hauer month.
Yeah.
Nobody had the balls to do it.
Yeah. And then the worst part is...
You know how many podcasts have contacted me on the download? They say, don't mention my name, and I won't. I wish I had the balls to do a Rutger Hauer month. Yeah, I wish you did too.
Me. I can't even do one on my own show. That's why I'm here. Just joining in.
See?
Yep.
Stuart's willing to risk his life to do this. That's how important Rutger Hauer month is, and how it's going to just change the way you look at podcasts. They go to the New Age shop, and Rutger's like, I'll distract her. You go to the cash register.
Perfect casting for this woman, by the way. She filled out the crystal mommy role perfectly.
And he's like, I would like some crystals, please. She's like, well, I have some. Let me show you. There are 3 right here.
Hold on. Close your eyes. Breathe into my face. Yes, I feel your aura. Let me tell you, in a John 9 words, I feel an essence over here. Yes, this crystal is calling for you. Is there a P associated with you? A P? Well, a man peed on me recently. That's what I thought. The urine, it still smells from your hair. It wafts off you. This is the crystal for you. Crystal Mom is getting way into it. So she's completely distracted.
And while she's doing that, Tracy's breaking in. They're like 5 feet away, and she's just getting in the cash register.
Cha-ching! Did the classic sound effect.
But she's so into her spiel, because these New Age people, once they get the spiel started, they mesmerize themselves.
Yeah, it's like when I start talking Twin Peaks theory with somebody, and they go along with it, and then I'm just like in another world. That's what happened to her.
We've all been there.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's dick,
Yeah. And so, he's like, well, I would like this one. Well, that's only $1,500. And then Tracy she's got to piss on everybody's parade. The fucking rock! Get the fuck out of here. And she just shows the wad off just to rub it in as they walk out.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. She had this big watch. It's like, this is where they're like spoon feeding the audience. Like, she got the money.
Oh, man.
They walk out.
Hold on, Stuart. Did you laugh at this scene too?
No. Because it was too, as you just said, it's too ham-fisted. It's like, okay. Why would a shop that sells crystals for like $1,300 or $1,500 be in a little pop-up town? That is not going to survive long as a business, is it really?
Right.
It's probably one of those like rich people, like arts kind of towns.
You know what it is?
Aren't they in Austin at this time? Aren't they?
I don't know.
Because the brewery was called Austin Beer. I don't know if that could have just been a name.
That would make some. It seems like they're down south somewhere. Like you said, that's where all prisons are. You know what I really like is that show Super Jail. This little tourist city, it's Mackinac Island.
Oh, great!
Where it's like a complete fucking.
That explains why there are no cars anywhere.
Yeah,
buses.
Exactly. It's a complete manufactured little town there to just sell you garbage and fudge.
Well, speaking of garbage, apparently there's a Garth Brooks store there because they got Garth Brooks collection. And Frank's like, I gotta have, because there's a mannequin wearing this god awful Garth Brooks shirt.
Yeah, he noticed it before they got the money, and he turns to Tracy and goes, "We need money," because he's like, I can't steal this beautiful outfit. I gotta make sure to take my time and get the one that fits my figure perfectly.
And yet, 10 minutes before, he said, "We've got to get out of these stupid clothes," and that's his solution.
Okay, that's a good one. That was good. That was a good one.
Right. And so they got their Western wear. They blending in.
Well, she's not wearing Western wear. She's got like the moccasin boots, but she's got like tights like women wear today. And then this weird jacket where I was like, what the fuck is this
like
jacket?
A corset type thing.
Yes, it was like corset low, and then where her boobs would be, it suddenly turns into this pillowy thing. Like, what the fuck was it? Is that Seagal wear?
Seagal and Garth Brooks got together for a brief moment and had a collection.
Oh my god! Oh, the Sensei cowboy wear.
So they get a hotel room. Tracy's like, she's ready to bone. Like she said, she's horny as fuck.
Yeah, is this when she's like running around with just? No, that's later on.
Mm-hmm.
She was clothed here.
She's like, Frank is in the bathroom. Look, he's like trying to see how this the collar works.
Yeah,
he's fucking with it. Tracy's watching TV. I think they're mentioning that the guys are wanted criminals. They got their pictures up there. And in the fucking mugshot, he had the fucking samurai hair. Did you notice that? Like,
I didn't.
What was that going on?
I didn't notice that. That's
and
funny.
while they're watching it, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing." And he's like, fucking with the collars.
I'm brushing my teeth.
You're sure doing it a long time.
Mm-hmm. They didn't even buy toothbrushes.
Yeah, why do they call teeth brushes? Because you're brushing your teeth.
I didn't mean it.
But no, it's true. Like, you're onto something here. It should be teeth brushes because you're not brushing just a tooth, unless you're our buddy Dennis. But anyway, while that's going on, the innkeeper is also watching this news program, and he sees, he's like, I recognize those people. So he calls in the cops.
Yeah. And before we go to sleep here, we learn that Tracy wants to go to Sterling City.
Some reason. She's like, it's on the way. First of all, where are they going somewhere? Because she's like, hey, it's on the way.
I imagine Sterling City being in Colorado.
It's everywhere. It's somewhere in America.
It's Springfield?
Somewhere in the future, somewhere in America.
Yeah.
It's Springfield. Yep.
Yeah. So, we got the police involved in the situation.
Yeah, next morning, the police surround the hotel. And they're walking out, and they just start shooting, opening fire.
Well, they do call them out, so they come out, hands up. They're like, all right, we've been had. It's no big deal.
And then some sneaky little so-and-so, we see who that is taking shots at the police. So then the police open fire.
Oh, okay.
Who is that sneaky little so-and-so?
That's the dude.
My girl Noelle?
Yeah, and dude at the Warriors, isn't it?
Sam.
Yeah.
Huh. Because they're working with the warden. They want to create chaos. And so they just run away. Like, cops let them run away.
Yeah, and when they're running away, Frank manages to grab a gun?
Maybe a cop got shot by Sam and they grabbed the gun.
That's what happened. They picked it up off the ground, run off with the gun.
That's what I thought happened here. Yeah. So, like, okay.
And the cops just let them go. They just run off, scurry off.
Yeah. I'm like thinking here, like, this is weird. Why are they fucking going for... Why are they just letting them get away? Do they just like killing cops? I mean, everything I've understood about Noelle in this movie tells me she would just like to kill people. So
yeah,
the cops were looking at Rutger going, look at his hair, look at what he's wearing. That guy needs to be in a special hospital. We can't possibly shoot him or we're going to end up on the news headlines.
Ooh.
It was just sad. They were just shaking their head. They're like, what happened to Rutger?
Wow. This is interesting. So sometime in the future, our police force actually knows not to just murder.
It finally happened. Police reform finally happened.
It finally happened. Oh, wow.
Sometime in the future, Griff.
This is that's basically far-fetched this film is. It's just bonkers.
Yes. That's the sci-fi part of this film.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a John Lennon park.
Yes.
And there's a huge bus tours to this park.
Yeah.
So he notices the buses. So Tracy grabs a hat and a scarf, covers herself.
Yeah. Rutger tells her, you need to be in disguise. Gives her a hat and a scarf. Says, put that on. Get in line for that bus. And then what does he even do? He just stands off in the background, or does he go into the store?
He goes into the store for some reason.
Is he looking for tools? Because he keeps telling us he needs tools.
Yeah, it could have been it because he wanted to take off the neck.
I think he does. He buys a watch later.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
And she runs into she's about to like get on the bus. She sees cops, so she gets in where they put the
Yeah, but we see that on the bus is another woman wearing the exact wide-brimmed hat with the same purple
very
scarf.
Very popular look in like somewhere in the future.
Sometime in the future.
Don't
say 1991.
No, I will. And then Rutger comes out. I guess he didn't have the tools he needed, so maybe he had to take a piss. Who knows?
Who knows?
And he sees that woman you said who he believes is Tracy.
Yeah, the doppelganger.
And the bus takes off with Tracy in the baggage compartment. Remember, 100 yards.
100 yards.
So he commandeers, he pulls a gun on another bus driver, says, follow that bus. Does, because he's got a gun.
Right.
And we get some bus hijinks. They finally make it to the John Lennon Park area, which is on the grounds of an abandoned zoo, apparently, because they mentioned that.
Right. So our doppelganger woman gets off one bus onto another bus. Rutger sees that and is like, fuck Tracy! I'm coming to get you! And so he jumps on this other bus. Tracy's getting on the luggage of the other bus and yelling at him, Frank, I'm over here. Frank, hello, Frank. But she's got one of those voices that he just doesn't. It doesn't.
He's got one of those Karen voices you tune out.
It's
Frank,
like,
Frank.
So I just called this scene in my notes "bus hijinks" because
it was hilarious because she's running behind the bus. It's a tour bus, so it's going slower.
And it's also a lot of turns. A lot of
like
curves.
over here, John Lennon got shot in the face. Over here, there's a monkey cage from the old zoo. And he's on the bus. He's like looking for her. And of course, the woman's in the back of the bus. He's got to go through all these people. Meanwhile, Tracy's running after it. Got fucking yakety sax playing in the background to make it funnier. And
Stuart, this scene funny?
Yes. Because she's following the bus, running around the corners, just cut across the park. It would just save you. The whole geography of it just really annoyed me. I know how to cut corners and take shortcuts. She clearly has not got a damn clue. Let's follow the exact route of the bus. No, let's cut across that field. Works better. Stupid woman.
It gets up to the woman, grabs her, spins her around. You're not Tracy.
He's been so, like, hands off with Tracy, and suddenly he's, like, fucking groping her head and everything here. Yeah, he rips her hat off and all that.
What would happen if she was called Tracy, though? She'd be like, yeah. That would have really confused it, and then the film would have been 20 minutes longer then, because he'd be like, are you? Okay.
And the episode in our episode would be 40 minutes longer, so thank God they did that.
That's a good point.
So he sees Tracy running along out back, so he's like, stop the bus, they get off.
Collars, again, the logic of the collars is like they beep. Both the matching collars beep when the person starts to get within, outside of that 100, or if it's beep 10 and then 5, and it keeps getting more, the beep's getting more consistent as you get closer to the 100. And so hers, it just sounds like it's about to be done. It's about to flatline, it's about to explode. She can't run anymore, but come around the corner with that beautiful Prince Valiant hair, sun shining, just beautiful how it bounces off his blonde hair. Good breath.
Yeah. Cut to the next scene.
Great dialogue in this movie.
We decided to camp out in this abandoned zoo. So now we're going to finally get why she wants to go to Sterling City. We get the backstory of Tracy. He's too adorable to be a real criminal, right, Griff?
Absolutely. She's got that fucking soccer mommy hair
Spunky
and everything.
as all hell.
She's so spunky. She's got the moccasins and the tights before it was cool. She's wearing something of the Garth Brooks Sensei Seagal line. Like, who does that? Tracy does that.
And he's like, why were you in prison? You're so spunky. Well, I had a pound of heroin. A bus with a pound of heroin. It wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my story. I, a lowly waitress, was dating the son of a senator.
One of the Kennedys.
And their highfalutin family did not like that.
Yep.
I was a peasant to them.
So they took me out to Lake Wakahaka. What's the lake called in that movie where they murdered the girl?
Hakalubi, something,
What?
Hakalubi?
Hakalugi.
One of the Kennedys.
He didn't murder anybody. He crashed a car and left like a coward. Left the woman to drown.
Yeah, vehicle. Yeah. That's some sort of murder, though, isn't it?
No, that's like by negligence. It ain't murder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's Lake Minnetonka where you purify yourself, like Prince did.
Like Prince did, yes.
And no, so she's.
So we're in beautiful Minnesota. Oh, she was from.
We're everywhere. We're in Springfield.
We're all over this place.
You want to go to Capital City? And so she's like, yeah, they didn't want me with their, I was too lowbrow for them. So they just planted heroin on me, and I'm in prison. I was in prison.
2 pounds. And Rutger's reaction to this was pretty great. He's just like, 2 pounds for a little girl like you? Tell you now. Maybe.
And then we get Abbott and Costello show up, these night guardsmen. We really didn't need this scene. And
we didn't.
They're like, ghost! They hear something, they run off. And it made me very angry. Oh, the next day, we're at the docks.
So, ominous. Hello.
Now we're on the ocean. Like, where the fuck are we?
Right.
Where are we?
Right. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know what time we are or where we are.
Are we at Lake Minnetonka? We somehow get from the south up to the north in no time at all.
Oh, they hitch a ride with a creep. He makes sure she sits where the gear shifts between her legs.
That's what was happening. Oh.
Yeah. Frank is just eating it up. He's laughing at her. He's like, he's going to grab your pussy. He's going to do a Trump on you.
He's going to, oh, Jesus.
But he doesn't. He insinuates he will. He's half a gentleman.
Oh, is that why he had his tongue out and he was winking at her?
Oh, she got a ride.
Yeah. Oh, she got a ride out of it? Oh, you mean the car ride?
Car ride, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what Tracy's into. She's into 55-year-old men with Prince Valiant hair and fucking craggy faces. Maybe she's into truckers, too.
She's into everybody.
I'm not trying to say Tracy's wrong for being into that style, man. Whatever.
Different strokes, different folks.
Exactly. She got turned down by a beautiful senator's son. Maybe she wants to move on to an older gentleman with
They're at
wisdom.
the docks. Frank is like, I have to go into this store, which was clearly 100 yards farther away, but we're not going to. She makes a phone call. Yeah. Much like in a split second, it's a future, no cell phones.
Yeah. I'm okay with that about the future. I don't care.
It's an alternate future. It's a multiverse. Much like Marvel is dealing with.
I'm good with seeing cell phones in movies.
She calls up. What? Who's she calling? The warden? What the fuck? She's in on it, dude. She wants to get out of prison. She's like, the whole prison break was the warden's idea, Griff.
Yeah.
And therefore, the stick was a plant, wasn't it? It wasn't a plant. Well, obviously, it was a plant if it was a stick, but somebody planted the stick there, I think, so that she could crack the collar and get out. I think it was set up. That's why it's polished and perfect.
That's yeah. That'd be an incredible coincidence if he actually decided to go for the stick to murder a man with it.
Sir.
I just thought they knew he was going to be beaten to a bloody pulp, and they needed the emergency wagon there to pick up the pieces of Frank. But
no, they needed him to escape to run to the diamonds.
Right, but yeah.
Very complex plan.
Very complex plan.
Like
so you were right.
Suspects, but with shit hair, isn't it? This film.
You were right not to trust the woman who looks like a third grade teacher, Griff, because she is in cahoots because she wants to get out of prison.
Yeah.
So I guess he went into that shop to get these tools. What are these tools he needs?
Yes.
Still working on that necklace.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Let me tell you my story. I was in the Navy.
We're just hanging out on the docks, kind of
sitting on the dock of the bay.
Yeah.
They're wasting our time.
They are.
Because he tells him his story. It's like, I was in the Navy. My dream was to start a diving school. And I met this beautiful woman named Noelle. And she said, hey, I can get you the money for it. He's just a humble whatever the fuck he is.
What? This is how he met Noelle?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Worst.
And she's like, hey, man, that'll fund your diving school. And he's like, I'm all in.
Ass.
And so that's what happened. That is Frank. He's actually a good guy. He's not a criminal. He's not a career criminal. He was just one-time thing. I think his buddy Sam knew Noelle because him and Sam go back a long time.
Mm.
You know, Sam, he thinks I was near Noelle. So
okay,
he probably had a massage parlor of Noelle.
But the police are hot on their trail because, of course, they're on their trail. It seems like they're being tracked somehow. He hasn't quite figured it out yet. For a smart man who reads popular science, he hasn't figured out how they're being tracked.
Well, that's the classic thing. Your book.
That's a good point, Murray. So he's like, shit, well, let's find us a boat. And they find a boat. Of course, the keys are in the engine. Well, they weren't in the engine. They were in the little visor you have to put down. So they put the visor down. There's the keys. It's got the nice little floating device on it. They pop it in there. And they start boating off. Because it's not driving. It's boating, right? You don't say driving off. So they're boating off. They're in those waves. Everything's looking good. They put on some nice Jay Winwood. What's that guy's name? Steve Winwood. Back on the high life again.
Little air supply.
Air supply. They got great boat music is what I'm trying to say here.
And he's like, hey, that's great. Sterling City's right on the way to this place. I don't know where we're supposed. Where are they going?
Just happened to be a map right there. And Sterling City was circled. Like, Rutger really should have been tipped off that something's happening in Sterling City.
And he's like, we don't have time for that. Oh, really? Well, you have time to die? And she just jumps off the boat. And you notice, like, she jumps off, she's wet, and then when she's floating, her hair's dry.
Yeah.
Continuity bullshit.
I don't know. Stuart's probably still laughing at this.
I'm laughing at the fact I'd just let her drown. I would have pulled the boat up next to her, let her drown, fished her body into the boat, and then driven off to get me diamonds. Problem solved. That's probably
why you'd
me
be
a bad person, isn't it? I'd be an amazing person. Yep. Yep.
You'd be a smooth.
You don't negotiate with terrorists, and you don't give in to blackmail by people jumping off the back of a speedboat. It's two rules.
You're not third grade teacher.
Yeah.
Apparently, he didn't learn that lesson because he gives in. He's like, all right, we'll do it. We'll stop at Sterling City.
I mean, he's trying to put that Cookie Crunch exterior on himself.
And now what we learned why she wants to go to Sterling City, because her fiancé, we say fiancé in English.
Yep, you say fiancé because it's a French word.
So,
that was very soothing for me because usually I'm the one getting talked down to. You just got talked down to. It happened to you.
It's my last ever episode last ever guest appearance on this after my debut from tonight, so I'm going to enjoy it.
We're gonna Murray's gonna go in and fix these numbers. The episode's not gonna make it off or something.
Mattingly, prepare the acid pits.
Yes, I'm going in the acid bath, and then Murray's gonna piss all over me.
The proper pH balance for a Scotsman.
Don't worry, Stuart. I'll give you the diabolic super suit. You'll just swim in the acid.
Just get me a manky old sandwich as well. I'll be happy.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'll be the first punishment, floater. We're going to get floaters for our fucking guests.
Yeah. We already talked about how much of a treat that'd be for everybody but you.
Why would it be a treat?
Because
floating in water.
You just don't get it.
Because
I don't get it. And I want to know what I want to get this movie over.
You can be in prison and you can be terrorized, beaten up, stabbed and whatnot, chased around by some school teacher looking woman who used to be married to Tom Cruise. Or you can hide out in this nice little sort of enclosed space where nobody bothers you.
All right, so I'll let you guys hang in the floaters while I'm banging people during magic hour. All right.
We learned a little while ago when Murray lost his power, he does not do well with existential crises. Like we can handle it. We know who we are. Murray doesn't know who he is. He's very confused.
So if you don't do well with crises, how are you coping with this episode? Are you doing okay? Do you need to take a break, or are you doing all right with it? It's going to be trauma for you.
He's got a wet rag wrapped around his neck right now. He's trying to plow through it. We keep stopping him. All right,
as
Murray.
I was saying,
on the gas, Murray.
Her fiance was getting married in Sterling City. That's why she had to go to Sterling City. And she knew the exact day. It was just what happened to be the right day.
Microwave timing.
So while that's going on, we notice that Sam and Noelle are on the docks watching them because nothing good happens on the docks.
Yep.
So they are going to follow them to Sterling City. Apparently, they're going west. We'll follow them in a car on their boat.
Don't worry about it, microwave.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not talking about the timing. I'm like, they're going. All they know is they're going west. Yeah, that means they know they're in a car. They're not in a boat. I could see them following them on a boat.
Yeah.
How are they following them in a car?
Trackers.
They knew that was the boat they were going to steal.
Yes.
They have them tracked.
Did they have a Spider-Man tracker that shoots out? And
they have them tracked by the collars. They still have their collars
on. That's right. I forget about the collars. I forgot the whole point of this goddamn movie.
That's because we started talking about it about 4 hours ago.
Yes, it's very true.
I warned every listener. I said, these are going to be long episodes.
This
So
is true.
I warned you.
Anyways, Tracy is going on. For some reason, Rutger, who has been offended by women ever since Noelle shot him, which, well, okay, whatever.
3 times.
3 times. Every shot missed the shoulder. I'm sure you appreciate it.
But it also missed the heart, lung, and spleen.
He did spell that out. But he goes up. There is like a hostess for the wedding, and he lays a fat one on the hostess woman. Then he's like, yeah, I'm in the wedding. I'm Smith right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Great play. Well, it works.
But why does he even need to do that? Because anyways, Tracy is just storming down the aisle right up. They're just about to do the I do's, and she steps right in. Yeah, I'm cutting in here. Look, I teach third grader. I know the graham cracker logic of this world. I need to tell you something. Why didn't you call me back? And she starts freaking out. And then he's just looking at his dad because he's born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's that whole Creedence Clearwater song. I ain't no senator's son. He is a senator's son. This is the people Creedence Clearwater hate. So this motherfucker is like, well, my dad said he took care of you, gave you money, and told you to just go away. You know, maybe join the Navy, learn about like microwave timing or something. That offends Tracy. Because she didn't go away with money. She got sent to the fucking camp holiday.
Right. He's like, I didn't know about that. It's like, well, you were just fine with me just getting booted out of your life. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah. And then he looks at his wife, soon to be, and he says, well, look at this and look at you. You don't teach third grade. Why do you keep telling people you teach third grade? Ugh.
Oh, I think she punches the fiance.
She punches him.
And then the security arrive.
Because the security are always nipping at their heels.
Right. And they grab Tracy, take her, put her on an elevator. Frank, 100 yards.
He attempts to get into the elevator, but there's other police holding him back. The police are okay with him afterwards. They're just like, whatever. I think he does have to kick the officer in the balls or something.
Yeah.
So he has to...
He's on the 43rd floor, so he has to hightail it down 43 flights of stairs. And this is a later day, little chunkier Rutger. So he's huffing and puffing. He did it in split second too. He can do up 4 flights in split second. This is 43.
That's a good point.
Split second. That's what he did there. Nice callback. Hold on.
A better movie. And so we get the thing. You got to stop. My fucking head's gonna explode. I have a bomb on my neck. Lady, what are you talking about? And she's like trying to stop the fucking elevator. And fucking Frank's going down the fucking...
He's rappelling down the building because he saw outside there was wires.
There's no way he can run down 40 flights of steps. So he just throws a trash can like through a window.
Yeah.
Happens to see, I guess they're like window washers.
Yeah.
And he rappels down and it's very tense.
We're getting down to the first floor. The collar is just beeping so consistently. It's just like that bus scene earlier. You're thinking that they're about to explode. The police finally listen to her as the elevator opens. They call it in. They're like, this lady has a bomb. So everybody is clearing out of the main floor of this building that they're in, giving Rutger, who has just crash landed and like come around.
Well, we
into
get
the
a
elevator.
little suspense because she's like, doo-doo, and she's like thinking she's gonna die alone, and all of a sudden you see him rappel down. He's like, nick of time in a split second. So yeah, they fucking avoid dying one more time.
They just walk around the block. The police do not give a shit about finding them
They literally
anymore.
just go in an alley and the cops don't see them. They're invisible.
Yeah, and Frank...
But a Rottweiler and a small child didn't.
I know you saw it! Christ. Oh, boy. All right, so anyways, Frank's just like, I'll go find us a vehicle. You stay here. Look inconspicuous. And, they end up jumping into a newspaper delivery truck.
Yes, which won't exist sometime in our future. Our present, they don't really exist, but they still exist in sometime in the future. And it's not only a newspaper delivery truck, it's also a place where they develop film because there's the red lights.
It was the red flaps on it. And then the sunlight coming through. I don't know why it was red flaps. Maybe that helps the ink. Doesn't sunwash it.
But they notice they're like, hey, we're on the front page. And this all of a sudden gets a burning in the loins of Frank. He's just gets turned on because they're sleeping. And then he's like, ever notice the those mom jeans really flatten her ass. So he squeezes her ass.
Yeah. And we see her hand reach out, and you think she's going to slap him or something. She grabs it, and then she, like, you know, make sure he gets a good fistful of whatever third grade mom ass she has there. And yeah, really, really hunkering down. And then they're like holding hands. And then we get a nice, beautiful shot here because maybe Rogers was like, I'm with Tom Cruise, or will be in the future. I've seen my future.
Past. I think they were.
Or in the past.
They were divorced by now.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been with Tom Cruise. There's no way I'm getting down with 85-year-old Rutger Hauer. Way. So we just get a shot of like her kicking her moccasins off.
So bad for Rutger because he's not younger than me in this fucking movie.
Probably, yeah. Well, hey, he's probably abusing his body.
A Rutger life.
Rutro.
No, they fuck in the truck.
Yeah.
And then they stop at a nice B&B.
Yeah, this is where the newspapers were being dropped off.
It's like a B&B/dojo. I got a dojo vibe off of this place.
This bedroom where it was a raised floor in the middle of the room, and then the mattress was just sitting on it. That was interesting. Still a pretty cool
Now
room.
he's super horned up. He wants to fuck constantly. And like a classic broad, once you want it, no, we're not fucking anymore.
Jesus Christ.
And and so they just he's like, he makes a call to his friend Jasper, who we've never heard of this entire movie. Apparently he's got the dive. And it's like, and she's like, and remember, she's still working for the ward. She's conflicted now because she just got boned by him.
Yeah.
So she's like, I kind of want to save him and be with him, but
Right.
I want this collar off my fucking neck, and I don't want to be in prison.
Like they're in bed together. She's just got a t-shirt on. You know, she's got her ass bleeding out here.
Cotton
God
pants.
damn it! Stop.
Riff's got an issue with the word pants. And so, yeah.
So they both fall asleep because it's been a rough week. They fucked on newspapers, Murray. So of course she doesn't want to bang again right now. Also, do you think Rutger would really fuck? He's 55 years old. He's probably got to take his meds.
He's probably 40 at this time.
He was 46 when he was doing this film.
Oh no!
And I guarantee you, I'm 47. I can still fuck on newspapers. God damn it.
Well, he did fuck on newspapers.
And I could go for a second round on a dojo bed.
He just needed a nap. He just needed a nap. He probably had one of those nice soggy cheese
fucking on a
sandwiches.
futon is pretty sad, I'll say that much. Well, you can do it.
Okay, so we're coming to, it's the next morning. The sun is just beating in their little room. It's beautiful. The birds are chirping. The deer are feasting. Noelle, Tracy, she's wide awake. She's just staring, and she's biting her lip. And when you're biting your lip, you're trying to figure out, can I do this? This perfect man behind me? This gross. Oh, he's farting up a storm in that bed from all those awful cheese sandwiches he's been eating. He developed a taste for it. He's just eating cheese, packaged
soggy cheese. Man. He dips him in water now. He's Kobayashi.
Hold on, Stuart, you still laughing here? You still enjoying this movie?
I'm still trying. Yeah, no, I was actually. I did look at it and go, "How long has this got left?" But I was still enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm like, where are we gonna go from here?
Aha, Mister! What did you do to me? You love this movie.
Yeah. So there's a nice little.
I watched this film on a 140-inch projection last night. By the way, full-size wall through a soundbar.
All the Craigs in his face.
Really.
Yeah,
Excuse me, all the Craigs in his face.
A lot of Craigs in there.
Yeah, a lot of Craigs.
But you gotta, that's your very own kind of deprivation tank, is just being in a little room with a 140-inch projection of the craggy face of Rutger Hauer.
So, like you said, Tracy's just at an existential crisis. She just had sex with Rutger Hauer at 46. And she starts hearing a beeping. And she's freaking out. And he's like, he would fucking, his Arcus just goes over her.
So you're doing that too?
He's like, oh, it's just my Casio keyboard watch I bought.
She thought it was
He's
a pacemaker.
No. Oh my god.
And so they set up the meeting with Jasper, who's got the diamonds. So Tracy goes downstairs. She's gonna make the call to the warden. She knows where the diamonds are.
I'm gonna go get coffee. She's gonna make that call, or is she? Or we're gonna learn a lot.
She picks
right
up
now.
the receiver and then she hangs up. She's like, I can't do it to this guy. He's great. She turns around. Sam and Noel pop up and like you were gonna make a call, weren't you? Huh? Yeah. And then so they threaten her. They're like, "Better fucking, let us know what's going on."
You shake that little third grade ass of yours. Get that guy talking, because Tracy's not telling him anything. He hasn't told me about the diamonds yet. I'm getting really close though. I slept with him, and right before he came, it was like 2 minutes. But right before he did, he pretty much almost told me the location. So if I bang him a couple more times, he'll tell me.
They let her off. They're like, all right, but you better tell him. So she goes up to Frank. She's like, Frank, I got to tell you the classic movie thing. I got to tell you something that'll take 5 seconds. We don't have enough time. Jasper's here. Jasper shows up, black guy with a cowboy hat. And he's like, hey, go. I got the diamonds. I'll take you to it. So they're driving. And Jasper's like, Frank's like, I can't believe you didn't sell me out, dude. He's like, I would never sell you out for $25 million.
$12 million is more than enough for Jasper. Jasper's just fucking salt of the earth. Love him.
He's a homebrew. He's an IPA guy.
I think his brewery is abandoned, but yeah, he is.
Well, he's like retrofitting it or whatever they call it. Rehabbing.
He's gonna turn it into an apartment. Oh, he's
gonna be like a restaurant and a brewery.
Oh my god!
He's got big ideas. $12.5 million ideas.
Those places, there's just like a dime a dozen nowadays. So I love Jasper's little tour, and this is my next big laugh. Is that he is giving the most nonchalant tour. He's just like, yep, this is where we put some to ferment, and they're like green things, and you put them in there, and for a while, and he just turns to Tracy.
Of course, because he's a black guy, they're going to do artisanal malt liquor. Now I'll never be able to host Jeopardy. Damn it! So that would be a great idea. I'm gonna do that.
Murray Richards,
artisanal malt liquor.
Oh my god. Make sure to go get fucking Billy D. Williams and
you better believe it.
And
Don't let
reinvent.
the smooth days fool you.
Wait, is that another one of the ads?
That's King Cobra. He did Colt 45. I don't know what the Colt 45.
Works every time.
I think yeah.
It was. We used to have those billboards up down Telegraph.
So, like you said, he's giving them the bargain basement tour. Like, that does something. I don't know. There's some water in there. I drank it. It tasted good.
It tasted okay.
Let me get you diamonds.
I love this, though, because he says, no one cares about how this shit is made. Only how it gets you buzzed. And I've been on beer tours. Oh, go ahead, Stuart.
I was going to say, is that a comment about the movie, do you think? Nobody cares how this shit gets made. It just gives you a buzz. That could sum up this entire movie, really.
You're probably onto something there, too. That's a good line to point out. He was going full Wings Hauser with that line. And the movie, the director didn't even catch it. But no, I've been on beer tours. Don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit to even go on a tour.
Yeah.
But Jasper, he's got it up on like this ledge. So he climbs up this ladder. And he pulls out a big case. And just as he's about to come down, Noelle shows up and just shoots him in the back 3 times. That's her thing. 3 times.
Really is. She does it multiple times.
So, got an OCD thing.
I was just going to say, OCD.
He's like, what the fuck? Why'd you have to kill him? Like, I like to kill. What can I say?
Not very good at it, though. I mean, she took out Jasper. She didn't manage to kill Frank, though, did she? I like to kill. No, you like to miss spleens.
There's something about Frank. She wants to fuck him one last time.
There's something about him, because every woman in this movie wants to fuck him.
Every woman.
Was this a Seagal movie at first, and he refused it? He's like, no.
It might be onto something there. It is 1991, so he is very popular. That's Steven Seagal.
They couldn't fit him in the tank.
Yeah, there we go. The deprivation tank.
So, they...
this is where Frank is like, but how are you still following us? How do you know where we're at? And then Noelle does the greatest little evil move, and she goes over to Tracy, and she rustles her little third grader hair, and then she does a little Crystal Cinema thumbs down with her.
Ugh.
This is my girl. This is my girl. Oh God, I'm glad you know that image because it's just so obnoxious.
Yeah. And they reveal that Tracy was with them, right?
Yeah, that was Noelle's way of saying this is your rat right here. I bet Tracy's been giving you away. Tracy gets this doomed look on her face, like, I didn't mean to cross you. Then you gave me your sweet 46-year-old craggy dick, and I just love you now. And so she's looking for a way out, and she happens to find. It's just like they walked into the Nickelodeon studio. There just happens to be a big.
Someone said, "I don't know."
Yeah, I don't know. And there was a big comical rope right by her, so she pulls it.
Don't pull.
Don't pull. There was a little placard that said, "Don't pull." And she pulled it, and
something like barley or some shit came out. Some beer-related grain.
Rotted old barley or something, yeah.
And then the Yakety Sax kicks in again, and they do a little thing where they're crawling across pipes.
They're just going across pipes and catwalks. Stuart, we're still laughing over there.
We are still laughing, yep. Still
Very
giggling like a mother, yep.
We're enjoying this beautiful double turn that's now going back the other way.
And then Frank drops the case, and Tracy, the pipe she's standing on, breaks, so she goes down, so she gets the case, so she's below him now.
Okay.
Sam catches up with Frank.
Yes.
They're like struggling above this vat they make beer in, I'm assuming.
It we learn it has water in it, but it's
about 3 inches of water.
Yeah, it's about 3 inches.
It's about 100 yards, I'd say, high.
Sure, 100 yards high.
And this is where we see how fucking insane Noelle is, because she just starts. They're like struggling. Noelle just shoots at fucking Frank.
So what happens is they end up Sam and Frank get in a fist fight. Frank actually wins it and hip tosses Sam into the tank. He manages to grab onto to something, but then Noelle down below, she's got her gun. She loads up her 3 bullets, as she do, and she takes a shot and hits Frank from down below.
Yeah, well, Frank is like Sam's like, Frank, come on, we're friends. Don't kill me. And then Frank shows his humanity. He's like, I'm gonna pull you up.
Was he about to?
Yes, he was going to pull him up.
Yeah. Which was one of my biggest pops for this movie. I was laughing really hard at that.
And this is where Noelle, as he's about to save Sam, Noelle shoots him, and then they both fall into the vat. All 100 yards, land in 3 inches of water, and somehow survive.
Yeah.
Well, Sam's kind of fucked up.
Frank's really used to this. He's going back to the deprivation tank. He's just waiting for Emerald to come by and piss on him.
She's like, got an apple, soggy sandwich out of his pocket.
What if Noelle actually came and pissed on... Would that have brought it full circle for everybody?
I think everybody in that scene would have out of their craggy dicks. And so he's like, he grabs Sam and uses his shield. Like, you're not going to shoot me now because I got Sam. Puts her 3 bullets into her in the chamber. Fucking kill Sam, because Sam's like, "Hey, baby, you're not gonna kill me, are you?"
Yeah,
he's like, she, and then like they do a bro down thing where he's just like, "She is a crazy bitch, ain't she?"
Yeah, they do.
That's fucking amazing, though. I did it for the pussy, I did it for the nookie,
did it for the.
And
nookie.
She's like, "I did it for the diamonds," and just fucking unloads those 3 bullets right into.
Man,
and somehow,
do you want her back? No. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, yeah. Can you please take her back? Take her off my hands.
For some reason, you can still use Sam as a shield, but Sam falls off him, because he's dead. He can't use him as a shield anymore. I would still use him as a shield.
I don't know. All I know is, of course, there's like a vat down below, a little escape hatch that he can get out. Tracy's helping him out. Noelle just kind of like disappears, and Frank and Tracy escape into a Jeep and go to some remote location. It looked like an abandoned little house at first. I don't know what the fuck they escaped to.
It was like a monastery or something.
Okay.
Like an Alamo type.
And it was even weirder that we're about to learn that Noelle somehow beat them out, got to their vehicle, knew they were going to take that vehicle. That was Jasper's.
So they probably, I don't know why they would have put a track because they were planning on killing. So, but
well, they still need to find diamonds.
Well, they could just take them with them. You got guns on somebody, you could just take them with you.
Well, they're not gonna show them where the diamonds at if they're being held under gunfire. These guys are hardened criminals. They're just gonna be like, "Fuck you, we don't care, kill us. You won't get the diamonds." It's the whole point of this movie up to this point, Murray.
They're not hardened criminals. They're like the worst
okay, they're the
criminals.
softest
They're like
criminals.
the Three Stooges.
Okay, they're the Three Stooges, but still, it was the whole point.
Anyway,
of
I just want let's get this done.
Okay, let's get.
So they're at the ruins of some monastery. Jasper told them where. What happens is, I don't know where this scene. This happens before they go to the monastery. We have to tell the scene.
Okay.
The bag had the tools he needed to get rid of the fucking collars. We're forgetting. We totally. This movie, we've totally forgot about the collars, even though this is the whole point of the movie.
You have.
No, because they're never like really talked about. They're like I said, 100 yards is very abstract in this movie.
You know, Stuart and his 140-incher there. Screen.
Yep.
Also, maybe genitalia.
I thought you were talking about Tom Hardy's dick again.
But he probably saw that. I'm pretty sure a lot of scenes they're not actually wearing their collars in between them.
I agree.
Probably.
But anyways, yeah, I don't think they were. Anyways, but yeah, now they're in the monastery. Now he's got the
they're
tools.
not in the monastery. They're at like I thought they were at like a hotel.
Or a hotel, wherever they are. They're in this room. They got the tool. The diamonds were not in the briefcase.
The tools were. And they always were. That's what they were for.
Yes.
But Jasper died.
Because you can't put a price on life and their freedom.
You gotta hide the tools at your brewery. You can't just have them with you at the car and go, here are the tools you needed.
We knew the whole point of this is we knew you knew that we knew that you knew that we knew you knew. So it's a lot of that bullshit.
So he talks her through on how to deactivate his collar.
There's a moment where he looks in the mirror. He can't do it. He punches the mirror. He's like, I can't do it. You gotta do it. He slumps on the floor and he gives her his little tweezers and he's like, you have to do it. I'm just a third grade teacher. You have to do it. And so with his instruction, she does
they
it.
Solidify their bond. She deactivates it, and then he deactivates hers.
She whispered something in his chest. I couldn't hear it.
Now they go to the old monastery.
Oh yes. Okay, this is what you were talking. Okay.
And they got like a pirate treasure map that Jasper gave him. 14 steps. He does it. Pulls it out. Jasper had fucking fenced the diamonds years ago. Well, I don't know what time. Like, what was the time between when he was shot and went to prison? I don't know. Like, it's like split second. I don't know what time
it's like 2 months.
And he's got it in cash in kinjitache cases. So there's 2 kinjitache, 12.5 in each case. And they're like, we got the money. Awesome. Then we see a chopper show up.
Your favorite stealth helicopter.
Right. Instead of nowhere.
There's just like a tiny brick wall that it suddenly goes.
Yeah. This is barely a building. It's just like a facade, like a doorway, no walls, no roof, chimney.
Stuart, you want to help us out with this climax here?
No. So Ned Ryerson shows up with his baseball cap on, if I remember rightly enough.
Oh, and, he's got the trucker. That's a trucker cap.
His mirrored shades.
Trucker cap on, yep. And Joan Chen, she's there as well, isn't she? And she's managed a clothing change as well, I think.
She's always got a new outfit on.
Yeah.
Well, we learned at the beginning of the movie that quick change her.
That's true. Yeah. I do love when they're flying over. She's just pointing a little pistol out. 1, 2, 3. She takes 3 shots. She's always 3 shots.
Yes, she did.
3-shot Noel.
And then this is all about give me the money, show me the money. The kind of a Jerry Maguire type thing going there.
Oh, yeah.
I think we can... The thing... Right, go back to the colours. Dismantling those. How difficult was it? Other than put this one on the second one and put this one on the 4th peg. Those collars were pretty easy to dismantle. Just cut that cable. Done.
Whatever we're doing in the future here, the technology is not that fucking intelligent because, they picked it apart in a second. And she does not have a trained surgeon hand, and she was able to do it.
And, of course, they do the thing where they're like, they tell Frank, you open the kinjitashi. Because Frank needs access to it, so he can just go doop and dump his little bomb from his collar.
Very important point. We've been arguing about how they have not been consistent about the collars and bringing up the collars. They are very consistent with the collars for this scene. They make it very obvious now that they're wearing the collar still, despite the previous scene where we see them remove them. So go on.
He throws the little bomb. We know it's at the moment. Puts it in the Kinji Tessier. Well, I was surprised. I thought the warden was going to turn on Noel, but he's like, I'll take my half and you take yours.
I love how he gets the bomb in there. You noticed. I know you noticed because we are very familiar with Screaming Eagles. There is a Screaming Eagle going by in the background, and it just happened that the warden goes, oh, shit, is that a Screaming Eagle? It gave Rutger enough time to slowly put the bomb in the briefcase and close it. Otherwise, he would have been caught because it's very obvious.
So the warden takes his cut. Like I said, he's an honorable man.
Yep, he doffs his trucker cap,
and he's like, Noel's like, I'm gonna stay behind and clean up what's left here. You take off.
Yeah, I'll just take the Jeep and go.
So she's like, well, I guess you're gonna kill me. Here are the keys to this fucking Jeep. He's got a little change purse on it.
What the fuck was that? I've never seen
because
that.
You needed something that he could put the
hide
money.
it. Yeah, but still, obviously. I was like, what the fuck?
So he's Jasper's in a fuck.
There we go.
And he hands her the keys, and she's like, "I got my 3 bullets. I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker." And he's like, "Why? Why was I with you? What?
My ass." I love Joan Chen. I loved her in this.
So the chopper takes off.
And Noelle is telling him, "You are a great fuck, but you are terrible. You're not smart at all.
Your dick was so craggy.
You can work. You can work the machine.
Do you have a craggy dick?"
Yes. Why not?
I'm not looking forward to that. All right. So
she is holding up the remote detonator / garage opener now. Right. She's like, you're just not very smart. And she's looking at Tracy, telling him like, I wish I could have given you more time to hang this beautiful specimen of human, but look, I'm an evil bitch. I gotta do evil bitch things. So she triggers the garage alarm, and the helicopter immediately blows up.
Right. And it takes a little delay.
And then her collar, the little keys that she has, finally start beeping, which she, like when you get stabbed, and you should be able to shut up, but you can't. She's just so in awe, like you fucked me, like you actually did it. You outsmarted me. She just turns and looks at the camera and blows up.
Why didn't she just throw it away like any half-brained human being would do? Beeping, beeping bad. Get rid of.
Yeah, right?
Throw it towards Rutger Hauer and Mimi Rogers. Right.
If there was a deleted scene where she's playing hot potato and she just holds the potato, then I'm like, okay, I get this character. But yeah, she was just like, shit. And you just bombs can't even destroy a beautiful face like Joan Chen, because it was like Bronson's wife from the Death Wish movie, where she just barely gets a cat scratch on her face, and she's like, "I'm hideous." That was Joan Chen's wounds. She was holding on to the bomb.
Splattered. I mean,
yeah, okay. Oh, yeah.
Her chest was all blown up. Fucked up because he throws his Garth shirt on it.
Jacket.
And he's like, "Well, they $12.5 million. They can still open that diving school.
They could still open the diving school." And then he pulls in Tracy real close and says, "Do you still want to be with me, little lady?"
He's like, "Nope."
Yeah, nope is the right answer.
But she shoots him and takes the $12 million.
There we go, and she's got $24 million now.
No, because 12.5 got blown up on the chopper.
Oh, that's right.
Because there's money floating down. There was a little gag they had.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That was it.
We made it through.
I'm exhausted right now.
Let's get a divorce from this episode.
Yes.
Yeah, no more Wedlock. This is a separation.
No more Wedlock, but Rutger Hauer month continues. Next week, we're finally doing Rutger Hauer movies I've seen.
Okay. And you're going to say this is a contrast? He's back to being an action man?
Yes, these are classic 80s Rutger. And not only that, I can't believe, our guests have pretty big balls, but this guy's the biggest. This is our first debut of a guy. This is his first episode. He's going right in the lion's den. He's risking his life. He is daring the fucking acid pit. Kill him. It's our buddy. Well, I don't know. We haven't talked to him yet. I hope he becomes our buddy.
Yeah, you might not like him. You
Mel,
might go, do you know what? Get off my podcast.
We could kick someone off right in the middle, but we won't because this guy's gonna be good. Because he's a Twitter. Name's Mel, but you might know him as @RoboPope. I think you know him, Stuart.
Yes, RoboPope.
He's gonna be on next week. We're gonna be doing the classic Rutger Hauer movie, Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Good choice. Good choice.
So I'm going to cut this shit short. We've been going way too long. See you next week. Keep it Rutger.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Stuart.
I'm just going to put the trunks on and get ready for this acid bath.